sold my soul to the bottle. Still none of my friends have left me yet. I'm the same man I was since the age of 13, and I've lived my life with no regrets. If you're looking for some freedom, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum. If you're looking for rhyme or reason, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum.
Okay.
Oh, hey, guys.
Hey.
First show in the studio of the new year.
It's 2019, you guys.
Oh my
Wow.
god.
You turned Billy up there.
I do remember, like, being a young lad and thinking it was, like, the world was going to end in 2012. And I thought that same thing in 2001. So there's some anxiety that goes along with that. And then I think Chris and I did a Harold camping party where we thought that the world was going to end.
Yeah, I remember that. Damn.
Oh, what?
And so what that means is, like, Harold Camping was the gentleman who thought that the world was going to end. It was like 2014-ish area. So we went and had an entire bar night where we went to, like, knuckleheads.
That was goddamn. That was when
Knuckleheads.
That was like when we first knew each other way back in the day. It sounds all weird, doesn't it?
It's a bit muffled there. Yeah, it's in the monitors. I don't know if it's the same way for Tendrink Nation out there. Tendrink, if you think this sound or if it sounds terrible, let us know. Is what I'm saying in the chat.
Yeah, let us know.
But yeah, the world's not going to end.
Is there another prediction? Is that happening right now?
There's probably at least 3. If you probably want to, like, Wikipedia it, there's, like, at least pending at least a dozen of these end of the world things, and it's 2019.
Yeah.
So I figure, like, it's way past Y2K. It's way past, like, Jesus was born 2,000 years ago.
Well, I do want to
Is that
give.
where that came from?
I do want to give a shout out. It is the 107th birthday of the state of New Mexico.
Ooh, happy birthday, New Mexico.
Oh, they said they can barely hear Holly.
Uh-oh.
And here's the thing. Okay, so we talk about, like, patriotism, like, people talk about this. It's one of those things where, like, my parents came on the Mayflower. Like, it's kind of like one of those things.
Did you say your parents?
No,
came on it?
I'm saying, like, there's the talk of that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a title you carry if you're, like, one of those people, like, oh, I went to Cornell and my parents came over on the Mayflower. Well,
Very waspy.
and everyone is like, well, you're Native American. It's like, well, New Mexico became a state in, like, 1910. So
Right.
technically, you're more of American, quote unquote, of these United States than I am, because before that we were just Mexican territory.
Was it 1910? I think it was like 1912. I think.
Oh well, excuse me.
It was like 107. What's 107? I'm terrible at math.
1930.
Oh, you know who we could ask?
1917?
And the only reason I say this is because
Talk on that microphone, Holly.
Hello.
Okay, let me turn you up a little bit.
And the only reason I
Okay.
say this is because we now have the technology to ask just a little puck in your room when... Okay, hold on. For example, hey, Google, when did New Mexico become a state?
1912.
New Mexico was granted statehood on the 6th of January 1912.
Yep,
Ooh.
in 1912, yeah.
Ooh.
So there you go.
6th of January, and today's the 6th, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
there we go.
Happy birthday,
New
Mexico.
You look really good for being 100.
Well,
And 7 years old.
I will tell you this: not every state or not every part of the state looks pretty good. I mean,
Really.
come on.
Hey now, Chris, I was trying to be nice to New Mexico.
Yeah.
She's getting old.
I mean, let's talk about that southeastern part. I mean, just kidding.
And so my grandpa, old Billy Scott, was born when New Mexico wasn't a part of the United States. These great United
Oh,
States.
will you push that speaker that direction
Away from us.
away from us? There you go.
Some feedback. But
Yeah,
how
too much little
dude, how
feedback.
how awesome was that party the other night?
So awesome.
Oh, the New Year's Eve party, the one yeah. So everybody keeps asking me. They're like, a lot of people watched that show, and they were like, where were you at? And it's like we were at Dan Mayfield's house. And Dan Mayfield is a man about town. I don't know really how you describe him.
About town.
He's been a fixture in the journalism scene of New Mexico for a number of years now. I don't really.
Was he like he was like the morning show in New Mexico for a long time?
He had a show on UPublic.
Oh yeah. Was it UPublic?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
He took over after Larry Aarons.
Oh yeah.
I remember we would always watch that. What was that show? We would always make fun of him because Larry Aarons was so like he was like this old, out of touch guy, and they were like having him interview people like rock bands and whatnot. And you're just like,
ooh, you
this
play,
guy.
Oh, you play the rock and the roll.
The rock and
playing
the
at
roll.
the what I'm reading here, sir. Is this the Sunshine Theater this weekend?
Yeah. I'll be sleeping in bed by 8:00. But
yeah, Larry Aarons, legend.
Yeah.
Albuquerque. Don't forget the.
Yeah. But we were at Dan Mayfield's house, so we partied. All three of us partied till like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Did you
And-
leave with us? Were you there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got an Uber back here.
Oh, that's right.
Someone says Happy New Year's in the chat. Happy New Year's to you.
Happy New Year.
Holly doesn't know the epilogue of that evening.
Oh my
The
gosh.
epilogue.
Yes.
Well, okay. The last thing I remember is that epilogue is afterwards, right?
Yes.
Okay. The last thing I remember, you couldn't find your phone,
Yes.
and then I got an Uber home.
And then
Yes.
that's
And then I went to
that's
bed.
where your night ended.
That's
Yeah.
where your
What
night.
goodness.
happened?
So we're trying to go. So here's what happens. So Holly, Billy, and I left Dan Mayfield's. This is the night of New Year's Eve. Left Dan Mayfield's house at 5 a.m. It was because he literally is like, you guys need to get out. he's like it's too, it's 5 a.m. I need to go to sleep.
And
You
I have
know,
this hot girlfriend.
you have this hot girlfriend. You guys can put one and two and two together.
Yeah.
So we get an Uber to our house, and then we're gonna get Holly one from our house to her house. The lady pulls over. We get out, and then shut the doors. She drives away, and all of a sudden, I'm like, "Oh shit! I think I just left my cell phone in her car,"
Okay.
which I had.
Yeah.
So we get Holly an Uber. She leaves, so she doesn't know the rest of the story.
Oh no.
Can I add something?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, so I'm excited for the show. You kind of get prepped for it. Chris buys me dinner. We go to NYPD. It was nice. And we noticed that there is this show going on at the Sunshine Theater.
That's right.
And on New Year's Eve of one of the, I guess, fixtures of Detroit.
Half of the Insane Clown Posse,
Half of the
Oh.
Insane Clown Posse
Violent J.
is performing at the Sunshine Theater. Now, listeners, if you're not familiar with the Insane Clown Posse, they are the genesis of a subculture called a juggalos.
Yes.
And it's a rowdy bunch. I've come to warm up to them in my old age because they're living their best life.
Yeah.
They're buying like.
Fago.
They're buying Fago, and they're buying crab legs on EBT. I wish I could do that.
Right.
In some respect.
They
Well,
walk
I don't-
around
yeah.
going whoop whoop.
And then they're smoking cigarettes, and then they're
Yeah.
smoking there's all kinds of drugs.
So we get into the parking lot to go to NYPD, and there's like all these native juggalos.
Oh yeah,
Billy's like, "Oh, look at all the native," and they're just like, they're all gathering around, different cars, like clearly probably like pre-drinking because they may not even. I don't even know if they're old enough. Some of them may not be old enough. Who knows?
Yeah.
And we're just like, wow, what a shit show this is.
a lively bunch. I actually, like I said, I've grown to love them over the years.
Me, I'm just like, ugh, this is gonna, I'm glad I'm not there tonight. You know what I mean? Because it's just not, it's not my, watching the Insane Clown Posse with juggalos is not my idea of
A fun time.
no.
Okay.
So, smash cut back to where, it's 5 a.m. We've got back to our house and my phone is in the car.
Okay.
So, you leave and we're trying to look up online how we can contact the Uber driver and let her know that, hey, my phone is in your car. Mm-hmm. So we look it up online, and it's like, what to do if you leave your phone in an Uber. And it's like, sign in, and then you can contact the driver. So I try to sign in, and immediately it says, in order to verify your account, we will please put in the code we've sent your phone. Well, I can't because I don't have my phone. So I'm getting frustrated. So finally, we're like, let's look and see where it's at on Find My iPhone on iTunes, or online.
Yeah.
Just to let you know you don't have an iPhone, so you can look for it whenever it's gone. Just so you know.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
I know. I don't have that technology.
iPhone explained for you, just in case. I'm just kidding. That was just me being my iPhone dick persona.
He's lording over you.
He's lording over me.
He's like, yeah. So we see that the iPhone is now downtown. So we're like, well, the driver's just downtown, so we could easily get this.
Yeah.
And so finally, I'm just like, screw it. And you can hit an alarm, and it'll, because we keep trying to call the phone, and she will not answer.
Right.
So finally, I'm like, hit an alarm, because maybe she doesn't know it's in the car. Maybe it's silenced.
Right.
And even if it's silenced, it'll set off an alarm.
Okay.
And so we try to call again, nothing. So then I see where you can message the phone, and it'll pop up for them, and it says, please call this number. I've lost my iPhone. So I send them Billy's phone number.
Okay.
His phone rings. It's not the driver.
Oh, no.
It's some dude. It's like, yeah, you lost your phone.
It's like, I have your phone.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, awesome. Can we get it back? And he's like, yeah.
And we've heard horror stories from people where someone has found their phone
money.
And they're like, they'll ransom it off,
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just like, great, here we go. And the guy's like, yeah, I'm at the Sunshine Theater. I'm down at the parking lot. So I tell Billy, I'm like, get a lift. I'll pay you for the lift if we go get this phone right now. I mean, I'm like exhausted, want to go to sleep, but I'm just like, nope, I got to get my phone. So I go get a knife out of my room. I'm like, we're going to go over to the parking lot at 5 a.m. of the Sunshine Theater where Violent J was playing.
Right.
What individual has my cell phone? What's going to happen? So we get a lift. The Lyft driver comes and picks us up. And we're telling the Lyft driver what has happened on the way. And this guy, like, I didn't expect him to do this, but he's like, are you going to lift back? And we're like, yeah. And he's like, well, then I'm just going to stop the car and I'll wait. He's like, I don't want to leave you guys out there.
Oh, well, that's nice.
With the juggalos.
With the juggalos.
Oh, that's nice.
So then we're like, awesome. Well, thank you. So we get over there. The parking lot is
empty.
There's like 4 cars that are clearly left there for the night because someone got drunk. And then the tour bus. So my heart sinks and I'm just like, fuck. The guy got pissed and left or was messing with us. Who knows?
Right.
Because in my mind, I'm like, why did you take my phone out of the car?
And not give it to the driver.
Why didn't you just give it to the driver? So I'm kind of pissed about that. Well, anyway, Billy calls the number. The guy answers. He's like, are you here for the phone? Yeah. All of a sudden, we see a light go on in the tour bus. And homeboy comes out of the tour bus. It's not like Violent J or anything.
Right.
But it's like some guy that's like his roadie or somebody. Could have been a rapper for all I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know that world. Guy walks up and he just immediately goes into dad mode and he's like, "Don't leave your phone in an Uber." And I'm like, "Yeah, man, I'm it was an accident." And I was like, "Here, thanks for finding it." He hands me the phone. I go to give him $20 and he goes, "Nah, man, I don't need your fucking money. Just don't leave your phone in an Uber." And I'm just like,
and this guy's straight up like tattooed on his face, and he was just dadding Chris. It's like, oh shit, yes sir, yes sir.
Yeah.
And so, moral of the story: don't judge people by their tattoos on their face, and the fact that they tour with Violent J.
I was just gonna say, moral of the story: not all juggalos are bad.
Yeah,
not
exactly.
all juggalos are bad, guys.
Not all juggalos are bad.
Juggalos, there's some good juggalos out there, and I'm the first one to say.
Well, that's so nice. I was not I was expecting that story to go way worse than it did.
Oh my god!
So someone in the chat says if the driver was smart, they call Uber for you. Well, I don't think the driver knew. I think the guy. I still to this have thought about it. I don't know if we wouldn't have set off the alarm if the guy wouldn't have done it, because we tried to call and he wouldn't answer the phone.
Right.
He was like, until I set off that alarm and then I sent the phone number, then he called.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I don't know.
The thing is, it was probably like one of those like Joker moment or like, coin flips. Like, I'm gonna keep this phone. This is like a good $400 I can get off this
Oh,
thing.
they're saying in the chat that if I would have went through Uber, it would have cost me $15 to get the phone back. Is that like how they're making money now? See, that's the thing. I was going to give the guy $20 and he refused to take it. So good on him,
Yeah.
Wherever he is in America, whatever rural area he's doing a show in.
Thank you.
I've heard horror stories about like
Nameless
Uber
Juggalo
drivers.
Man.
I've heard like crazy horror stories about Uber drivers like charging people like $100 to get their phone.
That's fucked up.
And I'm like, why are you holding somebody's phone hostage? And let's face it, like we'll all pay it because
Yeah.
our whole life is on our phone.
Yeah, you got to get your phone back. And yeah, like half the time, the price is, for you, you're going to pay it because the phone's important because it's a, expensive piece of equipment, but what's on the phone is also worth, like phone numbers. Because we've had this conversation. Nobody knows anyone's phone number anymore.
And I'm really self-conscious about my dick when it's not somebody I'm trying to send it to. So if they get that information, then I'm not about that.
And then I remember somebody when I got one of my first iPhones, I had the passcode on it, and they're like, "Really? You have the passcode on it?" And I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I have the passcode on it."
Right?
Because if somebody gets that phone, they can get contact numbers.
Who doesn't have a passcode on their phone?
Weirdos.
I learned the hard way. And
someone sent out all your dick pics to random people.
No, it was just like fishing for stuff and like information and like data.
Oh, nice.
And I didn't have that shit, but now I have the passcode. So I'm still staunch on the idea of a 4-pin code.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I also have the thumbprint.
Yeah.
Oh, mine's got the facial recognition, dog.
I know, iPhone, facial recognition.
Oh, we get it.
What does your phone have for?
Thumbprint and a fork.
Oh. You're like, it just doesn't open.
It's just like I have
it just stays closed all the time. I don't even know how I do it.
It's like an it's like
I'm just mean.
Practically a BlackBerry you have there.
No. BlackBerry is probably the most secure phone you can have now. There's like one, I think, that some guy created that used to work for the CIA or something, and it's like the hardest phone to like hack, but of course no one has it. No one can't get that at the T-Mobile store.
So long story short, it was a great night. We killed off the booze. I drank some really expensive whiskey.
Oh yeah.
And I ate a lot of ham. I was thirsty.
Is that a traditional thing, like ham on New Year's Eve? Does anyone know?
No, I think just ham is delicious, so you can have it anyway.
Of course.
Spiral ham.
Because I know that like black-eyed peas are supposedly
Yeah, that's
good luck.
what my grandma did, was the black-eyed peas thing, and then you put like a nickel or a quarter or dime or something in there.
In the peas?
Yeah, and then you're supposed to, like, whoever gets it is going to have, like, good luck for the whole year.
Whoever swallows it.
I know, whoever chokes on it is going to have a great year.
What's I guess it's for Fat Tuesday, the
king cake
king
with
cake.
the little baby in it?
Yeah, if you find the baby. And I'm just wondering, like, how many people have choked to death on the baby toy?
I'm not familiar with this custom.
So in
New Orleans?
In New Orleans for Mardi Gras, it's good luck. They have a thing that's called king cake, and if your slice of king cake has the plastic little baby in it, it's supposed to be really good luck.
Yeah.
Huh.
I've never choked on it, but I have bitten into it.
Ooh,
And
so
then
you always
you
got
go
to
like,
eat
"Ah!"
So you always got to eat the king cake just a little
Like,
tender.
carefully. So then you don't choke on it or break a tooth on it. And also, little baby, the arms are out like this. And, like, those little arms will hurt the roof of your mouth.
Right,
you
that
know?
would, they're all cut up.
Superstitions.
And
I
it's
know.
like you've been eating Captain Crunch. You're like, my mouth.
Yeah.
Does anyone still do that? Like, well, like, one, I get it, but I understand. No, I didn't eat. What is it? Black-eyed peas.
I've never done that.
I used to do it when I was a kid.
I've only heard of it recently.
Oh, it's been around for
forever.
Right, but it wasn't like, different families, they'll do stuff like that. Mine never was a part of that.
My grandma did that every year. And then when she passed away, like, we were like, man, we're not going to do the black-eyed peas. Because I'm also not a big fan of black-eyed peas. But she would make,
not the
cornbread
best
and
bean
stuff.
in the world.
It's not. The texture isn't great. But she would make, like, cornbread and all that stuff.
What are those big white beans?
Ew, lima beans.
Lima beans.
Or butter beans. Gross, 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 gross.
So I'm looking up. Somebody says, wasn't it at a restaurant? I don't know what that means.
Are you talking about the Black-Eyed Pea, the restaurant that closed when we were a kid?
Oh, yeah.
I loved that place. Their coloring sheets were very fun.
I'm not familiar. The thing is,
it wasn't a great place.
Speaking of restaurants as a kid, I'm super stoked about the return of what I thought was the best restaurant as a child, and even into my adolescent years, coming to Albuquerque. And the thing is, like, when you're a kid, like, who doesn't live in Albuquerque, the strip is San Mateo.
Yes.
And so you're like, oh, we're gonna go down San Mateo. We're gonna see all these shops, and then you see the homeless people. Maybe see a lady of the night here and there.
Lady of the night.
Yeah.
And then you get to Central, and then you turn around and do it again. My parents like, let's drive down San Mateo, because he didn't want to do Central is too dangerous.
Yes.
But San Mateo was just right. And the thing is, like, we're gonna go to fucking Bennigan's.
Bennigan's.
It was the shit, and I would get excited, and they're bringing it back.
They're bringing it back?
Fuck yeah, they are.
Are they going to have that Monte Cristo sandwich is what I want to know.
I will shit. I'll throw the biggest fucking fit if they don't bring back the Monte Cristo.
The Monte Cristo is good. Well, see, I had a friend that worked there when they closed, and they gave them no notice. Like, she was pregnant at the time. And they just closed.
They could do shit. Corporations can do that. Fucking Blockbuster Blockbuster's closed, and you're like, oh yeah, you don't have jobs anymore, and they just go into like a locked door. Capitalism.
I'm trying to look up the different crazy superstitions for holidays. You
don't wear white after Labor Day.
I don't follow that.
You sure as hell gonna eat a corn dog on Halloween.
Or
a chili dog, I'm sorry.
So this is paralegaltraining.net, which makes 0 sense. And for good luck, wearing a new bonnet on Easter is lucky.
Ooh. I gotta find a bonnet this year, guys.
That's what Holly, I will have a bee in my bonnet before I have you work at that fucking stupid comedy club you were thinking about working at.
It's good luck to throw water on someone for 2 days after Easter. Both for the wetter and the wetty.
Because people are spring horny.
I know.
And then you have to, like, cool them down.
You got to cool down.
That makes sense.
It's like an ice cold shower.
And then some people instead of just a new bonnet, they think if you wear a new item of clothing on Easter, it's good luck.
I mean, that's fair. I get it.
That's why my life has been so shitty lately. I don't have a new bonnet or any new clothes.
Yeah, you got no new bonnet.
I need to get a bonnet.
You see no salad, you got a new bonnet.
And that's a hat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a hair tie.
No.
Hat.
It's like, it covers your whole head. It's like for babies, really. I don't know why an adult would wear a bonnet.
Babies and old ladies.
Yes. I don't know why I would wear a bonnet.
Because
I would
you're
look
a baby.
ridiculous. I have a little baby.
Like, if you ever watched Little House on the Prairie, they wear bonnets.
Oh, see, that's...
time.
I get it now.
Yeah. So that's, these are like probably a lot of old superstitions.
You don't get married on Valentine's Day.
What? Is that a thing?
No, it's just my superstition.
That's just stupid.
Don't fucking do it.
I have so many friends that have done it. And then it's kind of awkward. You know what? You're right. Because I have gone to Valentine's Day weddings, and it's like, why do I want to watch somebody else be in love on Valentine's Day? Like, I should be out getting laid or something, you know?
Here's another one. I feel like they're fucking with us for these, because these can't be real, right? If a woman looks outside the first thing on Valentine's Day morning, the number of animals she sees equals the number of years before she gets married.
Oh, I don't like that at all.
That sounds like bullshit to me. I'm like, okay.
I never look out my window and see animals anyway, so, I mean...
Good Lord, this one's a lot of work. if you eat Christmas pudding, which I don't know what that is, in 13 different homes before New Year's Day, you'll find happiness, prosperity, and morbid obesity.
That's stupid. It's obviously something made up. Something.
Yeah.
I
Like,
think it would be pretty easy. You
what
just
is a
go to
Christmas
Costco.
pudding?
Yeah, I don't know, tapioca or something. You could make any pudding could be
Yeah.
a Christmas pudding. What I would do is I would go to Costco, buy a big thing of those snack packs, and then just go to all my friends' houses
Just
and
eat
eat
'em all.
some pudding.
Actually, Holly, with the luck you've had, I would say you should try it this Valentine's. Say if you're sweet on a guy, and then like you do
If
the
you're
whole.
sweet on a fella,
If you're sweet on a fella, just do the 13 like the Costco like a you know pudding pack,
Yeah.
and go to our house first.
Yeah.
You know, tie one off there, like maybe a shot or two, and then you know over to the next house. No, if you're that sweet on a guy though.
you're sweet on a
I'm
fella.
really sweet on a fella right now.
Oh
so,
shit! I met him.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Does he make a good Christmas pudding?
Probably.
That pudding is a food. Like if okay, not to detract from what you're about to say. Let me just say this real quick. If you went over to someone's house and they say, "Yeah, I made pudding from scratch," would you like look at them like they were a sociopath? Like why?
No,
Why?
I
on
would be
earth?
so excited because
Really?
when people make pudding from scratch, it gets this weird skin on the
Oh,
top.
yeah,
That
yeah.
sounds gross, but it's delicious. I'd be like, sign me up.
That just I
My
don't know.
mom used to make pudding from scratch all the time, not like the Jello, like real actual pudding. And it was delicious.
Really?
Oh my God, so
I
good.
just feel like we've the Jello pudding has just really done it. It's gotten to that level like where
Oh no, my mom
So
used to
there's-
make this minty chocolate pudding.
Oh, fair enough.
Delicious.
Interesting. I just would like someone like if one of my friends was like, "Yeah, I stayed home Friday night and I made pudding from scratch." I'd be like, "Is everything okay?"
Are you doing okay?
Holly, can I get a beer from the fridge? Not to be
Yes.
part of this.
Does
the pa-
anybody else need a
be
beer?
No,
part,
I got it,
be
I
a
got
part of the patriarchy here.
I've
but
got a thing.
I would like a beer, but you're also really close to to where the beer
the fridge is. But so yeah, now the Holly, we can go back to her talking about her fella.
Oh right, I met him
once. You met him.
and I'm saying
She's not around, so go ahead and talk about him.
the dude's a good looking guy.
Oh, there she is. Shh, 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 shh. Yeah.
And I'm like, holy smokes, Holly! Like, I would.
Right. He's very handsome. He's a pilot.
I thought you were gonna say pirate.
I mean, that'd be cool too.
He's a pilot. He's working on his third PhD. It's like, have you seen any of this? Like, well, no, he just told me.
That'd be funny if you're like, he's a pirate. He goes back and forth to Africa for his work. You know.
No, he's in the Air Force. Yeah, he's like a badass, like Top Gun. I've been watching a lot of Top Gun because then I'll know like what his airplane things
Oh,
are.
it's just the lingo in general.
Yeah,
Wow.
like I just listen to Danger Zone.
I was gonna say highway. You're just like driving over this house. Like you're about to get some. You're all, highway to the danger zone.
And if you've ever seen Archer, my favorite show,
Yeah.
Archer sings that a lot. He
Danger
lives
Zone.
far away, but he's. I'm
But you're
kinda
sweet on him.
crazy.
What do you mean
I'm
he lives
real
far away?
sweet on him.
There's
So
an Air Force base
he
here.
lives in Oklahoma. The type
Oh
of
my
planes he flies
goodness.
is not here.
Oh, so well, they don't.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they don't have any planes here hardly anymore.
Yeah.
You know what the
Barely.
weird thing is? Like, Chris, you remember going to El Paso,
Yes.
and you remember going out on the town,
Yes.
and then noticing the big population of what the
Military.
military.
and they don't come out here.
And here, as far as Albuquerque, we have Kruger Air Force Base, and you think that it's like it would be like a hot spot for maybe
Yeah.
some
No.
males looking for some little action.
No.
Air Force don't go downtown.
Well,
You know?
and there's not a lot of them.
Oh, okay,
This base is a real skeleton of crew of a base.
it's just a real clam party.
It's a real clam party. No, so most of the base, is the labs, and
It's
so
sciencey.
so a lot of the military are there to like support, secure the base. There is like, from what I understand, some planes.
There's like helicopters. I think.
Helicopters and then ospreys, which is
Yeah.
the planes that have the wings that turn
Yeah.
up and it floats, which are cool. But they don't. like
Just as far as like men on hand, it's not one of those
No.
places. Okay, not
It's-
like Canon.
No, Canon's like 10,000 people, man. It's a lot.
That makes sense.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I met
Or
him
more.
online, and it's kind of hilarious.
Well, you met him where?
What?
You met him online.
Online. So
Was it Tinder?
No, it was OkCupid, and I was on there harvesting for material.
Wait,
I
what?
wasn't.
Whoa.
I wasn't.
I was in there harvesting blood.
I was.
She was farming jokes.
I was farming jokes because the men on online dating are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So he had written something funny about bread, and I have a joke about it in my set now. But like he had written something about how he buys too many loaves of bread, and then he never finishes his bread or whatever. So I wrote him because I thought it was funny, and then he wrote back, and then we were just talking like as friends because we're like we live far away from each other. Like that, we'll just be honest about relationships. And then he flew out here to see me last week.
Oh dang. Mm-hmm. When you say flew out here, like did he fly
No,
himself?
I wish that'd be pretty.
He's
cool.
all guys got to take a jet out.
No, he flew commercial like every other.
I just want
person.
to give a shout out, I guess, to James Smiley, who's not here but watching. Yeah,
James.
I know.
That just popped up. Hi,
Yep.
James. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching in the
He had a
audience.
rough night too. I'm not going to bring up on the show, but there was
Yeah.
a lot of drama there.
Yeah, he could tell you about the drama that happened to him after the New Year's Eve.
Oh God, everybody had drama.
The epilogue. What do you call it again?
Epilogue.
Epilogue. I'm
Yeah.
not. You know, the thing is, I'm a keen war against literacy, so I'm not about reading books.
You just run up to people at Starbucks and just slap the book out of their hand and go, "No."
How dare you?
It's called the fucking internet, nerd.
Yeah.
Nerd.
Nerd.
It's called a freaking cliff note.
The Cliff Notes.
I read all the time.
Yeah.
But it's been made clear on the show that I'm a complete nerd. So
And okay, so there's this whole argument of like, in this, the idea of like people are too. Okay, sorry. Is James on the chat?
He's
in the chat.
lift.
He's in the lift.
And so the idea of us being on our phone, which I get it, like I'm on my phone close to 4 hours a day.
Does it tell you at the end of the week?
Yeah, it's like I average between 3.5 to 4 hours.
Yeah.
I don't even want to say how much I'm on my phone.
Which is,
If you can open it.
if it's a lot, it's a lot. And the thing is, I don't. But then again, I don't watch TV like normal Americans do, so I think it evens out in a way.
Right.
But then I was looking at all these, I guess, like turn of the century haters of people who read too many books.
Right.
And so books were actually the same thing of what
That's correct.
So I was like, oh, they just, have a conversation, get your nose out of that book. But of course now books are the standard for,
Or it was probably more of like
the pretentious,
help
the
me do
elite.
these chores, get your face out of that book.
Right?
Help us stop from dying.
Yeah, right. And of course I'm on my phone. It's like, well, like, say 100 years, not 100 years, maybe 30 years from now, when I have my like VR set on and like,
Well, it'll be all in your head.
yeah,
Implanted.
So get that implant out at the dinner table, please. Just
Well, I've noticed. So, I think we've lived here 6 years, never had cable. We don't have satellite. We don't have any of that stuff, and I feel like that's a big thing. But I'm starting to notice, like people, like my mom and dad will ask me about TV shows if I've seen them. People at work will start talking about TV shows, and I'm just like, I don't know what that is.
yeah. I think Downtown Abbey was a thing, and I was like,
Downton Abbey.
Abbey. Ooh.
Downtown Abbey. It's Downton Abbey.
Oh.
All someone had to say was it was on PBS, and I went, I'm all right.
I just like making fun of it.
Yeah.
I watched the weirdest show ever
What's that?
this week. It's called The Masked Singer,
oh shit, okay.
and it's on Hulu. You can watch it, but it's on I think Fox or something.
Yeah. I saw the previews for
That
this.
sounds
So-
interesting.
I was like,
don't know.
I'm gonna make fun of this, meh, 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 meh. And then I watched it, and it's actually kind of cool.
Really? Because I felt like when I saw the preview for this, I was like, are we that fucked for like new ideas?
No, get this. It's
Yeah?
actually a very popular thing, I guess, in like Japan or something.
okay.
Is where it comes from.
Of course.
The whole thing is it's like a mystery, and I feel like their promotion, they messed up promoting the show. Because the coolest thing about it is their costumes have clues, and then they have like a package where it has clues. So then they have to kind of figure out like who it is, and it's actually pretty interesting. So I'm excited. I've only watched one episode. I'm anxiously awaiting the second one.
Hey, it's James Smiley.
James is here. He's not dead. You know, someone said he was. You're alive.
Hello.
He's like waving from off camera.
No, but I do respect that premise in a way that I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
Whereas like reality TV has kind of like
And like some of the people are not singers
No.
either, so they're having to like go out of their comfort zone
And sing.
and sing.
Right. Well, the first episode was very controversial in the
Was it?
sports world. Yes, very. So I've been hearing about this show nonstop on ESPN Radio.
Oh, because of who they unmasked or whatever?
Correct.
Yeah.
So a guy Antonio Brown for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
oh nice,
Yeah.
great athlete.
He's been very like disruptive of the team.
Yeah.
Well, they filmed this like months ago. So then like he was like disruptive and didn't play, or something happened where he was like not there or didn't show up, and then the next night everybody was mad at him on the team, and then the next night the show was, they unmasked him like on the show.
Yeah.
So there's like a big question of is he serious about football?
Yeah.
That's
And
bullshit.
He dressed as a hippo, and it made me happy because that's my favorite animal.
It's bullshit. I think that if you're, you're not. There can't be that much distraction as a professional athlete. You know,
Right.
take just
Right.
do this thing, because people take vacations. I understand that there's like
Yeah.
a lot of like.
But I mean, you have most of America that doesn't understand production,
Right.
and they thought like it was live.
it was a distraction.
Well, they thought it was live.
Oh,
Then he was
And
just
it's
like
not live. They taped
Yeah.
it months ago.
They thought like maybe he was like just didn't show up because he was like doing this show.
Yeah, no. It was months ago. And I kind of was sad that he was the one that left, too.
No.
Because I kind of liked... Also,
Yeah.
I was really curious for the other person. I wanted to know who that was.
Oh, really?
I'm very into it now, and I'm trying to figure out who
See,
these people are.
that's why I can't watch any reality show. I can't watch. If you watch the first episode, you're done.
Yeah.
And you have to watch all of it. I do. I'm in. I'm in.
just-
I'm like, "Bleh, I
I'm
gotta
just
watch
really
all of it."
curious for who is behind the other. I could have cared less who the hippo was, honestly. And that's probably why.
okay. So
Was he a good singer? Is the question.
No. He was all right at dancing.
Oh.
He was pretty good at
Oh,
dancing.
so I assume. Okay, so you're right then, because like they did a poor job. I assumed that everyone was like a good singer.
No.
Professional.
And so, like, you could tell the ones who are not professional singers or trained singers because they're very heavily auto-tuned.
Oh, okay.
And so that's kind of, like, the cool part. So then you kind of have to be like, okay, you're not a singer. You're some kind of an athlete or something.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty cool. I'm kind
It's
of
a good
into
premise.
it. So,
Okay.
I think I would enjoy it enough to get off my phone for 5 minutes. Maybe
Yeah.
see what the
Yeah.
noise is about.
I like it.
Do the judges get anything for guessing correctly?
No, I
Do
don't
they get
think
prizes?
so. I don't
It's,
think
it's just
so.
like fun
It's just for
bragging
funsies.
rights. Who are the judges?
Jenny McCarthy, who I
love her.
love. Jenny McCarthy. I'm kind of hoping that one of them is Donnie. Because, first of all, I love Donnie Wahlberg. But I think that would be hilarious.
Oh, because that's her.
That's her husband.
Yeah.
So it's Jenny McCarthy, Ken, the guy, Dr. Ken or whatever. Alan
Oh,
Thicke's
Ken
son.
Jung.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alan Thicke's son.
Robin.
Robin Thicke.
Thicke. And
Oh, they said
Nicole-
Alan Thixon.
Oh,
Like, who the fuck is Alan
Alan
Thixon?
Thixon.
Good old Alan
Fucking love
Thixon.
Alan Thicke.
Hello,
Um,
I'm Alan Thixon.
and then also Nicole Schlesinger, whatever her name
Sure,
is.
sure.
She's from the Pussycat Dolls, like the
Oh.
lead singer lady.
Is that still a thing?
Here's my question, Holly.
Yes.
Unless it's a football game, to where I know when I know when the game is starting. Were you excited for the show? Say it started at 7 o'clock. Were you there at 7 o'clock?
No.
Okay, so you
I
watched it on
Hulu.
Okay.
So, like, it was there, and I was bored. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to watch this. And now I'm totally into it. So I'm going to have to wait until the next day.
Yeah.
For the
I'm trying to
show
figure
come
out how you would choose that over Letterkenny, which is on Hulu.
Oh God, it's
6 seasons of
love
amazingness.
that show.
Because I thought, like, okay, like, if I fall asleep during this, not a big deal.
Yeah, right.
Because I didn't know if I... Also, I thought it would be kind of funny to make fun of it on our show. Because
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be stupid. Because they did a horrible job of promo.
So
Of Letterkenny?
No.
Oh. Because that's all I see now.
Yeah.
Is that the
That's on my
advertisement?
list of things to watch.
Oh, okay.
But
So but the reason why is because I found this out recently. I watched a documentary on movie trailers. So
Yeah.
the people who make movie trailers are completely separate from the
Yeah.
people who made the movie, of course. I mean, a lot of people know that, and a lot of people don't. So a lot of times, what it is, it's also started to become this whole thing now, where it's its own thing. Like they have an award show now for making the best trailers.
For the best trailer.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
wow.
awesome.
And
because those are important.
it's all about now getting those YouTube clicks, and that's how they judge if the people who've done, there's like whole crew. They'll bring in a whole separate crew. It's not just like one guy, or the director has nothing to do with it. The producer has nothing to do. They like literally have nothing to do with it.
The first time I realized this was when I saw the trailer for Starship Troopers, and it had scenes that aren't in the movie
Yeah.
and a song that's also not in the movie.
Correct. That's correct. And yeah,
Wow.
and that's actually a thing that they do a lot.
I was like, I want to see this movie so bad. Look at that. I'm like, none
Somebody-
of that stuff was in the movie.
Somebody just said in the chat, Bonnie McMurray.
Bonnie.
Bonnie McMurray.
And I told Chris this because we actually have a different opinion on who's the hottest girl on the show. Like
Letterkenny?
he's sweet on the sister.
I'm sweet on the native girl,
Oh yeah. Tannis.
Tanis.
And I am all about Bonnie McMurray.
She is pretty hot.
She
Letterkenny
is-
has some of the hottest women on a show.
And it's weird because it's very rare in Canada, of all places. Of course, you're looking at the entire entertainment community and like legends out of Canada. But in Letterkenny, the show, there are some of the like most attractive people you can ever imagine. Also being like the best actors / comedians,
Yeah.
funny people I've ever seen.
There's some funny lines. Good timing.
Yeah, good. Yeah, it's amazing.
Good
And
comedic timing. It's pretty funny.
Out of
I'll have to check it
Ontario.
out. It's on my list of
Yeah.
things to watch.
It takes a little while to get the slang down because they use a lot of
Bonnie
rural
McMurray.
Canadian slang, but it's hilarious.
And I actually did watch a good 20-minute long YouTube video on translation of what they're saying.
Yeah.
And I'm not a hockey person, and you kind of don't have to, but
Right.
it's good to know all this lingo. And the thing is, like, talking fast for the most part.
Somebody was listening to 10 Drink Minimum the other day. That's
pretty much
that's kind of how they start
Who's-
out.
I gotta see who this is.
It's Mike Lucero.
Oh yeah, I was listening to 10 Drink Minimum the other day, and the thing is, I actually talk faster as a result of watching this show.
Right.
And I think it's, I do it in like so people who haven't seen the show is like, why are you talking like that? That's ridiculous. That's stupid. But no, I think it's hilarious, and that's all that matters. What makes
All
me
that
laugh
matters.
is what I'm gonna go for, even though I'm being the weirdo and the annoying person.
I am trying to finish up The Office for the 50th time. I don't know why I do this every year.
No, I do it. I've done it. I did it actually twice this year. Last year,
It's
sorry,
so
2018.
good. It's so good. I can't
It is.
stop.
It is.
I just got to the Pam and Jim thing. Like they're
So which
actually-
one are Pam and Jim? No, I'm just kidding.
I'm like, I thought you said.
Wait. Hold on.
It wasn't until you actually watched it for the third time, but you hear. I think is the theme song is so much louder than the rest of the show.
Oh, it is totally.
And
Oh, yeah.
so, like every 30 minutes, you hear, and then I was like, oh, he's watching The Office, and then you won't hear a thing
Yeah.
for another 30 minutes until you hear that.
Right. Yeah.
The theme song.
I
Oh,
didn't.
yeah.
I didn't think about that. Yeah, it is pretty loud.
Yeah, and then the rest of the show, they're just talking.
Chris here actually introduced me to The Office. When we were over here, I'd never watched other than just random repeats on network television.
Oh,
Such a good show.
I enjoyed it.
James, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you forget today was Sunday?
No, I didn't. I just I didn't think I needed an alarm to wake up before 6 p.m.
You're the only one that would like use an alarm for like the afternoon times, and it's not like you're taking a nap.
Can I ask about your night last night, Smiley?
I just played video games.
Oh, are you enjoying Grand Theft Auto?
I am actually.
Grand
Good.
Theft Auto. Do you feel a penchant for crime now?
Not much more than I used to.
Oh, okay. We should probably give a shout out to the Potential Problems podcast that did their 300th episode yesterday.
They did.
Yeah,
Wow.
they live streamed it on Facebook.
Oh, congrats, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 300 episodes in the can. That's actually pretty, that's a substantial, that's like 5 years, I think, for them.
Yeah, that's
That's really good.
That sounds about
Yeah.
right. 5 years.
So yeah, if you don't know who they are, check them out on Facebook. They did a show with us for Hemp Fiesta. It's like one of the first shows first show Holly did out about with us.
Yes.
So.
I actually think that was my very first official show
Was it really?
as not a guest. Yeah.
Oh. As a member of the show.
As a part of the team.
Yeah. I think we'll tease for the second hour. We have a big show. We're not going to do a show next Sunday. We will be doing a show Friday. And it just kind of came out of nowhere.
And the thing is, I have not checked my schedule. I have no clue if I can do the show or not.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, pending, Billy Belmont will be there.
Yeah.
But we okay. So I don't know if you want to give the details.
Let's not give the details to the second hour because
Okay.
we're gonna talk to somebody. We're gonna interview somebody kind of famous. Like it took me a little while to remember him.
I think if I saw him and it's like I've seen that guy.
Yeah.
It's when he's that famous.
Well, no, and then I started reading his bio and I went, oh shit, yeah, I remember that guy. Yeah, big time.
And with that being said, just me knowing who he is, because I'm not one to be on media
Right.
for the most part, other than like my Twitter and like TikTok.
Yeah.
I know who he is.
So yeah, that's gonna be interesting. So that's gonna be Friday night. We're gonna do a show from 7 to like 8:30, I think is what it is.
That's fair.
Cool.
And it's gonna be invite only to the live show. They said 50 to 60 people, and I'm like, oh Jesus.
Oh my
and
gosh.
And then there's gonna be an after like hangout,
Little meet and greet.
little meet and greet. So we'll tease for the second hour. We'll talk about them. I'll bring it up the second hour.
I'm excited if I can actually go.
Yeah. So that'll be kind of cool.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with my band Billy y los Bebes, but we will be. I get asked to play a. The thing is, in my old age, in my ripe old age of 38, or 37, I'll be 38 in a week and a half. I enjoy playing other people's songs, and I'm not afraid to say it. It was kind of a stigma for the first part of my like quote unquote career in music. Like I was above playing covers, but like I said, I am now. Billy y los Bebes is a cover band, and it's not like we're doing like covers to please people. It's just songs I fucking love, and it's
Right.
the theme. So with that being said, I got asked to play Ryan Adams cover night, and I am stoked for it.
Well, I'm stoked for that.
Ooh.
I'm such a Ryan Adams fan.
He is.
Super fan.
Super fan.
Super big time. Good times.
I'm a super fan of Billy Belmont, so I'm excited.
And he is. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'm excited. So that's my news. You were gonna ask about shows, and
Yeah.
that's my show going on.
We still got a little bit of time left in this one. In this hour.
in this
I have-
hour.
In this hour.
And so I was out and about in town. I was uphill. I was in uptown, and you don't use restrooms in uptown.
No?
So
What?
like
Why?
I've been waiting
What?
this entire you don't do your business in uptown.
Why not?
Superstitions, Chris.
Oh,
It's
superstitions.
I gotcha.
It's after the new year.
No, I thought maybe it was like one of those things where they're like, sorry, bathrooms for customers only. And you're like, I had a beer. They're like, I didn't see it.
Snakes in the toilet.
Snakes in the
Snakes
toilet
in the
uptown.
toilet.
That's uptown.
Yeah. That's my new thing. Like when I'm on a dating profile, if they're, because I'm older, they're like, yeah, I'm gonna buy a house, and I'm like, where? And they're like, the West Side, and I'm like, no.
Where all the demons live?
Yeah. I'm like, people go over there and disappear. I'm pretty sure they were eaten by a CVS. Yeah.
And so, like, bathrooms in Uptown, you just don't do it. After the new year, at least. You know, cockroaches, got snakes.
Snakes, leprechauns.
Okay, what? In your opinion, what is Uptown?
Uptown is east of.
Well, it's where.
No. It's east of San Pedro, and west of.
There's an actual place called Uptown.
Yes, there is an actual place in town called Uptown. I'm just wondering where
And then, like, Coronado Mall.
is Uptown.
That
yeah.
Target.
Yeah, like
yeah.
I was saying, like east of San Pedro.
Okay.
Windrock Mall.
Yeah.
And
Elephant
like,
Bar.
like west of
I live
Pennsylvania.
up there.
Gross.
I know.
Oh,
It's not the Heights.
So
Oh,
Uptown.
I live in the Heights.
Uptown is kind of like the swanky place for the people in the Heights to go to.
It is now. It didn't used to be.
No.
You know what? The sketchiest apartments complex in the metro area is a place called the Warrens.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, the Warren
And
Apartments.
so the Warrens is just this kind of like public housing, like cesspool.
it's
of,
like our Caprini Greens.
yeah. And so
Yeah.
Candyman lives there.
a 2-minute walk from the Warrens apartment complex is the Elephant Bar
Oh yeah, that's true.
It is.
and the Coronado Mall. So it's
It's in the Windrock Mall.
in the Windrock, yeah. And so I was actually driving. I went to a movie there earlier, and just seeing like Nordstrom Rack. You see Ulta, like
I
Yeah.
love Nordstrom Rack.
a lot of like cosmetic
Yeah.
retail
Yeah.
establishments.
Well, there's still Ojo Locos, so that place is pretty trash.
Yeah. See, that kind of balances it out.
You know,
But
if you want to stab some people, you
But
just go there.
then you have the Warrens projects,
That's true. Yeah.
just right there,
Huh.
just chilling.
Fair enough.
And that's
Fair
that's
enough.
Uptown.
Yeah, I had to explain to somebody the other day where, like, we were eating, and they're like, "I've never eaten at this place before," and I go, "Yeah, it's probably because you're not usually down here during the day, and you probably would have never come down here during nighttime." And they're like, "Why not?" And I was like, "Because of the war zone." And they're like, "Where exactly is the war zone?"
Oh my gosh.
And I'm just like, "How long have you lived here?" I mean, you know, have you not driven down Central on the eastern part, like past Louisiana? You know,
Yeah.
I was like, Louisiana to Tramway, and someone's like, "It doesn't go to Tramway," and I go,
East of San
No,
Mateo.
San
starts-
Mateo,
If
actually.
I-
It starts in San Mateo, basically.
"Okay, San Mateo to Tramway."
Yeah.
And they're like, "It doesn't go to Tramway." And I go, "It sure does."
Yeah, it does.
Absolutely.
And they're like, "How do you figure that?" And I
But,
go,
and the thing is, like, I am not one to go uphill, and I'm sure as hell not going to go on the east side.
Well,
But
no.
I was there, I would say a week ago.
"Up in
I would say like Eubank Central.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Like there's
Great.
like the Pussycat videos there, but you have like some fine establishments.
I wouldn't hang out outside at night."
You got like a Applebee's. You got like a Freddy's Burgers.
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
Which side of the street was it on? though?
Oh, so yeah, the reason why that's all nice is because you're right there by the base,
Yeah.
and that's where all those places are there for
Further,
lunchtime.
yeah.
Oh, it's okay. So you don't go there past 6 p.m.
No.
I wouldn't, because that Freddy's I go to that, and then there's like a Chili's, there's a Freddy's, there's a Taco Cabana. You're talking about Eubank and Central.
Yes.
Yes, that's directly outside of the base.
I guess I don't go to the base, but
Yeah.
anyway, I was like, oh, I'm
Well, that's
impressed.
where everybody goes to lunch.
There's a Costco.
Correct.
You kidding me?
There is.
That's
There's a
where I go to the Costco after work.
Okay.
That's where I go to the Costco after working all day,
Costcos.
after choring.
And even then, like, people talk about the war zone. It's like, okay, so in my mind, Tendring Nation, it's the I guess the fairgrounds. And even then,
No, it's
then you have the best sandwich shop in town.
We're talking south of Central, like between
Yeah.
Central and Gibson.
That's what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Okay.
And
Yeah.
That's the war
even
zone.
still, some parts where he's talking,
Yeah.
like you can't. There's no through traffic
yeah.
in all those neighborhoods. They have these like weird little
Yeah.
median things.
So you can't do drive-bys.
That's what I said. And someone's like, "Well, if someone wants to do a drive-by, they still will." And I go, "Yeah, but they can't just haul ass through. They have
Yeah.
to actually turn."
That's why there's
Yeah.
those roundabouts.
Oh,
and
that's
all
what
that
that's
stuff.
what they're there
They'd,
for.
they'd,
Yeah.
have
They're
to, they'd
for.
have to screw up their car. There'd be
Yeah.
obvious
Yeah.
signs that
Yeah.
they went through
It
the
slows them
barriers.
down like crazy. People will hear them.
Okay, so where I was going with this is that it's not as bad as I remember 15 years ago.
Oh,
Really?
absolutely not.
Oh, no.
It's so
Yeah,
much
you're right.
better.
It's so much better. I'd say Albuquerque is not as bad as it was 15 years ago.
Yeah. I
True.
mean,
No one's tried to mug me in years.
well, I got.
Well, thing is,
Well, in
Molly,
2018, I totally got robbed at gunpoint. So, I mean,
But I was sitting there talking to to different people about New Year's Eve, and a lot of people were like, "Yeah, I had to stay home with my dog because they were afraid of the fireworks and gunshots." So, in Albuquerque for New Year's Eve, there is a lot of people that shoot off weapons.
and here's the thing. I am super cognizant of it, and I will not be out on New Year's Eve in the open air. And the only reason I say this because I hear gunshots all the fucking time.
All the time.
It's not a big deal.
No,
yeah.
But
we're used to it.
But on New Year's Eve, you have, of course, a rise in this type of activity. And I'll tell you why I'm so scared is because a person from Farmington, my hometown, was killed by a stray bullet from
Yeah.
top of the head
because people shoot up in the air and they don't think about the fact that it comes
down eventually.
That's what goes up must come down.
And
it'll
What?
come it'll come down through your roof while you're sleeping.
And so, you can imagine the riled up people of Farmington. It's like, oh, Albuquerque, what the fuck? You don't go down. And it was actually,
Yeah.
I know exactly where it happened. You know where Standard Diner is?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
where it fucking. It's
Oh,
just
really?
walking down
Oh.
Central, minding their own fucking business.
Yeah.
Bullet, top of the head, dead.
Well, I've had two different people tell me that they like one guy I work with. He looked out his back window, and his neighbor was just standing out in the yard, firing a handgun into the
What?
wall outside,
What?
like a thing he had set up in the wall. And then another one of our friends, we went to dinner that night. She was like laying in her house, and her neighbor were texting each other back and forth, and the neighbor was telling her the different guns that were being shot by the sound. And somebody walked out and just like sprayed an Uzi, like an Uzi 9mm, full throttle, like a fully automatic. And I'm just like, that's crazy.
People are so dumb.
It's so dumb.
I know. Is this because they forgot to buy fireworks?
No, you got to
I know,
shoot. You got to
right?
shoot away the bad feelings.
I know. That's another superstition, I'm sure.
It's a superstition.
So my grandpa made a list for me of all the different guns that he heard. So my grandpa can identify guns by how how they sound.
Yeah,
He's like, well, I heard a few 22s. That's not a big deal. And
that's
then
not a big deal. It's gonna hit you in the face.
I heard a 38, and he's like 89 years old. He's the cutest little old man in the whole world.
Good
But-
catch.
Thanks. But I just thought it was so funny. The next day he calls me and he was just like, well, I heard a couple 22s. That's not a big deal. There were some
Yeah.
38s.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, Papa.
So we'll end the hour with that one after that nice catch. So we got a show coming up the 11th at Trick Lock Theater. We'll be live online if we can. I don't know what the internet's going to be like. We'll see. We'll give it a shot. And then we have a show February 9th
Yes.
at Tractor Brewing.
Yes.
We're going to do a podcast. There's going to be a beer release.
Oh.
And Billy's going to do music and Holly's going to do comedy.
Whoop, whoop.
So it's going to be the 10 Drink Minimum Collective, kind of a thing we're doing now where we can kind of go out and
Do our things.
do different things.
Showcase our talents.
That's correct. So February 9th, come out to Tractor Brewing if you want to actually see us live. We haven't done a live show like that in a while, for sure. You know, we need people in the audience to drown out all the other people that aren't there to see us and that we're going to talk over. And then they're going to try to talk over us, and then we're going to turn up the PA and talk over them.
Yeah.
It's
a fun
gonna
game.
It's going to be a contest. We do that
I've
with
got a
comedy.
microphone and a PA. You've got your fucking voice. We'll get loud.
We have to do that with comedy sometimes.
Yeah.
I actually have something to promote as well.
Good.
As well.
I will be performing in Alamogordo on January 19th at 19th Hole. Please come out. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
all it is.
Tell my parents so they'll come out.
I did.
I was going to say I'd go down with you, but I'm like, I have a thing on the 19th.
Yeah, no, that's totally fine. You know.
I'm fighting in a Smash Brothers tournament.
Oh shit!
Ooh.
Also,
Seriously?
that is
With
the
money on the line.
That is the 8th day of Belmas, so
Yeah.
it's also that.
Ooh.
Money on the
Okay,
line. There's
Belmas.
money on the line.
And Chris, okay, so Nintendo's I would say it's the
Here,
Smash.
tease it for a second. We're trying
Okay,
to
so
do.
I'll tease this. Like, Chris is good,
Yeah.
and I'll tell you why.
Hold on.
And here's 5 different reasons why Chris is good at Smash Brothers.
Right. Click on this. James, do you have anything coming up?
Not that I know of.
Billy, do you have any other shows coming up?
No, Belmas starts on the 12th,
Okay.
and
That's Billy's birthday week.
no, it's just Belmas. It just so happens that my birthday falls within Belmas.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Fair enough. So definitely check us out on tendrinkminimum.com. Shout out to the people in Connecticut that download our show like crazy.
What?
There's almost more people that download our show.
There are more people in that outside in the eastern seaboard
Yeah.
than they do download in Albuquerque.
Yeah,
Oh.
Connecticut and what was the other one? Maryland.
Yeah, Maryland.
Maryland. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
Interesting.
And then a big shout out to was it Sweden? That's a big one too.
Ooh.
So good on you guys. So
How are we doing in Australia?
not good
these days.
Not
Really?
good. Not good.
We've lost that. They've lost. They've lost us. They don't like us no more. So
And the thing is, like,
Great Britain as well. They like us there too.
Ooh.
they're like, who's this new Sheila you got on the show? And it's like, we don't like this Sheila.
Does she drink Koopas?
They don't like the new Sheila?
No, we're just kidding.
We're
We
just
don't-
kidding.
yeah,
Oh,
we don't-
I was like, how do I fix it? I'll fix it.
No.
That's what they call women in
So yeah,
I know
shout
that.
out to all you guys for downloading our shows.
We love you.
Who's
Love
the new
you. We
Sheila
love
you
you.
got on the show?
Yeah, yeah. Well, we'll take a little break and we'll be back. Definitely like our Facebook page, facebook.com/Tendrink. That's where we broadcast our live shows too. Other than that, definitely drink when we do the show. You should as well. Always remember, never get too drunk to jerk.
tendrinkminimum.com.
All accounts you had built towers and layer. Not a hero was staying on appearance of souls by subjects. Steal your thumb, don't you come this way. What's the use of fire if you can? But a sea for all to climb. My fate was not the same as everyone is slave. Hear the word of what you earned. Your friends turn fickle, you're to blame. The envy veers to Jesus as the glass they throw it break. Walk this way. Was I that incommodious? Can I plead to keep my head? My fate's not the same as everyone I slay. All accounts, you cursed the sky, the ground, the ground. Didn't say your prayers. You were the king who walked on shards of jars that held your people's fate. Now here is my mind will be clear before my head rose. Now here is my mind will be clear before my head rose.
I sold my soul to the bottle. Still none of my friends have left me yet. I'm the same man I was since the age of 13, and I've lived my life with no regrets. If you're looking for some freedom, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum. If you're looking for rhyme or reason, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum.
I was listening to 10 Drink Minimum the other day.
So anyway, Holly, you don't smoke,
I don't.
but she does, dabble in the e-cigarette.
I do.
Oh, yeah.
And so she hands me this piece of this hardware,
Uh-huh.
and it looks like the heft of it is.
Those things are heavy, right?
Yeah. I need a
and
new one.
it has some wear and tear to where it looks like
Oh.
it's like.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me tell you, the one that I use now, it is so fucked up because that one has lasted. Like, I have dropped that thing so much, like while bartending and all kinds of stuff, and it just survives. I get new ones and then they break. They can't handle my life. But the reason I use e-cigs is because I am a cancer survivor, and I walked into my cancer doctor's office one day after he had saved my life.
Yeah.
And I smelled like cigarettes, and he's like, "Oh, you're still smoking the cigarettes, huh?"
Why am I
Fuck me,
helping?
right?
Why am I helping you?
Yeah, and he literally said, "Fuck me, right?"
Did he really?
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh shit, sorry."
Ooh.
And so I talked to her. I was like, look, I need nicotine. I've tried the patch. I've tried the gum. I've tried all the things. It's not working.
I've tried injecting it with a needle, which is weird.
I've tried,
I mean,
tried
kind of like
chugging nicotine. It's just not working.
Tried putting like little some chaw in my butthole.
Some chaw. I was gonna say she's like I kind of tried to make it like a tea and then inject it into my veins, which also didn't work too good. I was sick for a while.
I was on the snuff.
Oh God! Have you ever seen people do that? Where it's like they take nicotine
used to do it.
and they snuff it. Yeah, that's.
I don't know what that means. You sniff it?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like
yes, like
well,
cocaine,
okay.
You snort it.
Yeah, snort it.
You snort it.
So
yes.
there used to be. I don't know if they still. So I remember.
Well, it's been around for like hundreds of years.
Hundreds of years.
I'm pretty sure they still make it.
But when I was young, yeah, they do. When I was younger, a lot more people used to chew. And I don't think that's as big a deal anymore. Like not
chewing, as in like it's the big like leather strip, and you kind of like
different. There's different kinds. So
Yeah.
there's chaw. That's what you're talking about.
Okay.
Chaw.
And then there's
you
the
put
chew that you put in,
like
dip.
like used to. I remember like Brett Saberhagen when he's pitching for the Royals used to have a big chaw on his lip, and like there was a wad in his gum. But there was like different things that people would do because there was like the like Red Man. Where it was like just big strips of tobacco and people would put it in their mouth. But then there was Copenhagen, which Copenhagen was kind of like shredded up, like small, and they would just kind of get like
that's
a
what
little,
I'm familiar with.
They would get a little bit of a wad. And then I guess if you were a pussy, you would do like the packets, which was like basically like a tea bag with tobacco in it, and they'd put it in their mouth.
That's what's
Yeah,
weird.
they
Like
make, they make those.
You'd like take a package of Copenhagen,
yeah.
like sprinkle it into a gallon of milk, shake it up, and then chug it.
Who would do that?
What?
I saw that a couple times done.
That's disgusting. That's
And-
like redneck, like macho bravado.
yeah.
Crazy shit.
It's total dare bullshits.
Yeah.
And, it'd be,
Gross, gross.
and then the milk would be brown.
Oh.
It's like,
I
all
just-
right,
I'll
down
say-
the hatch.
I'll say I've never like I was watching.
I was thinking of legitimate ways of taking in nicotine.
I was watching Letterkenny and they were spitting in a bottle, and all I had was nightmares of like I'd have you'd always have those friends that would come over
Yeah.
and they'd have a little cup
Yep.
and they'd put
Like a napkin
a
in it.
napkin or a tissue in it and then spit in it and they'd leave it. And I remember one time someone had it on the top of a couch
Yeah.
and I sat down and we sit down on the couch. It like moves the couch and it just fell on me and went right down my shirt.
Oh,
I have
God.
one worse
And I
than
wanted
that.
to fight. I mean, I was ready
yeah.
to fight, man. I
It's
was so
gross.
pissed.
I have one worse than that. My ex-husband used to do that.
Spit in a can and you took a drink.
He spit in a Coca-Cola bottle, and
Ugh.
he set it right near mine.
Gross.
Oh my God,
I picked
no.
up the wrong one.
I've-
I
I've-
almost divorced him.
I've taken a
him
chug
right
of a
then.
beer that someone was spitting in.
Oh, that's gross.
It's fucking
as
disgusting.
soon as it hit my mouth, I was like, "Oh, you motherfucker!"
You can smell it. Like
Oh,
you can smell
ugh.
it coming.
I was so mad, and I think that was the first time I almost divorced him. Before I actually
Wasn't
did
the
divorce
last
him.
time.
We are
Wasn't
fucking
the
done.
last time.
We're done.
We're done. I can't take this shit anymore.
You're blowing it out. So I want to talk a little bit about this thing we're doing Friday.
It's very
So-
exciting.
Saturday the 12th at the Kiva Auditorium. A guy named John Fugelsang is doing a show called Unprecedented. It's being hosted by the Trick Lock Company. I'm sorry, I keep saying the Kiva. It's at the Chemo.
Chemo. I was gonna say. I'm like, wow.
Yeah. Still, Chemo's, that's,
They're both nice venues,
yeah.
but I mean, one's just a lot bigger than the
So
other.
they were like, hey, can you guys come on Friday and interview this guy to help promote, because he'll be in town. He's coming into town Friday, and he's going to be here for this event. I was like, sure, absolutely. And they were like, you're going to interview John Fugelsang. And I'm like, when they said his name, I was like, I don't know who that is.
He's amazing.
So
He
you
is.
know who he is.
Yes, absolutely.
So then I started looking him up, and I'm like, oh, shit, that guy was a VH1, like, what do we call him? VJ.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
And the thing is, like, I couldn't tell you by name, but when I saw him, I was like, oh yeah, I know that guy.
He was also, I think, in Coyote Ugly.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
And then he also, for 2 seasons, he was the host of America's Funniest Home Videos.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, holy shit.
And he was on CSI.
He was the guy that took over after Bob Saget.
Really?
Yeah, and then now Tom Bergeron, or the Tom Bergeron guy, took over after.
No.
And the crazy- the crazy
There's the guy from Fresh Prince is the new host.
Carlton?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Alfonso Ribeiro is what you're trying to
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And rest in peace, Alfonso Ribeiro.
Wait, what? Oh,
Rest in peace, Alfonso Ribeiro.
Yeah, that's terrible about that. Yeah.
No,
Wait,
the thing
what?
is, like, there was a time on Twitter.
That's a really old joke.
On Twitter, where you can go on and actually put rest in peace to somebody, and someone would believe it for
And
a
Billy
good
and I
amount of
did it
time.
one night.
And so you try to make it go viral.
Yeah.
And I think the
Yeah,
biggest
yeah.
one that ever happened was rest in peace Ron Paul when he was making his libertarian presidential run in 2012, I want to say. But anyway, so you put rest in peace in front of a celebrity. You try to make it seem like, okay, so it's a celebrity that you know who they are,
But they're not super famous.
but they're
Right.
not super famous to where you care to check on their well-being via the internet, on Wikipedia or whatnot.
I've never used Twitter.
Oh, so Twitter. Well, it used to be
Right,
my
right,
only
right.
platform for social media. It was amazing. It still is.
Mhm.
It's just like everyone uses Facebook, so now I'm
Oh,
that
man.
person.
So there's I'm looking at the guy's IMDb. He was on 18 Wheels of Justice.
I don't know what
It was
that
on
is.
Spike TV, and it would come on after wrestling. But it's a show called 18 Wheels of Justice, which is a semi-truck. He was on Becker, CSI Crime Investigation. My microphone sounds like it's weird. Does it not sound weird to you?
It's sounding a little like...
I don't know if it's the microphone or if it's that PA.
It's the PA. The thing is, you were having problems with it before, and it's fine.
Oh, okay.
As
everyone.
long as we have a monitor,
We're
Yeah,
all
that's fine.
We're all sounding like
as long as
that.
we can understand what we're saying.
Yeah, I was just worried because I got a new microphone. So, okay, so then he does this. He's also, I guess, like a political guy. I mean, I don't know how to explain.
Activist?
Yeah,
Activist.
He's very political, but he's very smart about it. It's,
Yeah.
Okay, so is
it's
it
fun.
political on which end of the spectrum?
I think liberal.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Because I think so it says on Saturday night at the Chemo Theater, John Fugelsang in unprecedented, the true
Yeah.
story of a comedian trying to raise a toddler while his country was electing one. It's a fundraiser for Revolutions International Theater Festival, and so it's Saturday night. It's $30 for a ticket. I saw there was a lot of people that were interested in going. But so we're gonna do the the get people excited about it.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of nervous about
Yeah?
this one.
How come?
Excited, but not the bad kind of nervous, but just oh my
Oh,
gosh.
goodness.
I don't know. I like it when people use comedy to make a stand. Right?
Sure.
That's my favorite kind. And if you do it in a smart way where you're not saying the same joke that everybody else is saying, it's amazing. And I love
Right.
what he's raising money for. And so it's I respect him and I'm oh goodness.
Yeah.
I'm just a little tiny comedian. Just want to.
Yeah. And, one of the big things for me is he was one of the last people he was the last person to interview George Harrison
Yes.
from the Beatles. That was what the shit? That's amazing.
So I'm
So-
very excited, but I'm a little oh god.
Yeah. I mean, is this the most famous person we've probably ever talked to? Probably, yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll see, We'll see what happens. I mean, I think the only thing that could hold it back is I think they have to clear it with him. But I don't think he'll have a problem because he podcasts as well.
Yeah, so I mean, I hope that he's cool and is because that'll also be devastating
I
if
hope
he's a jerk.
I hope he's a diva. I hope he's a jerk face.
I don't
He's
want
just
him to be a jerk.
oh, what
face.
kind of shit equipment do you have? No, I'm just kidding. I don't hope that at all.
I want him to be a super. I'm sure he is, though.
Yeah.
He has to be kind of laid back and chill, I would assume.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were I'm pretty sure he's a jerk face.
No.
He seems-
Wow, Holly. Wow.
I did not say that. Oh, God. Now I'm even more nervous. He's going to, watch this episode. And then
That's why I did it in the second hour because if they're making it to the second hour, they're devoted.
They're devoted. They're excited.
They're into it.
They love us.
They're like, all right, I really like this show. So that's Friday night. So, and it's I've been dealing with it for the last 3 days,
Yeah.
all the questions and
The
so
logistics.
what do you need? What did it? And I was like, they were trying to figure out where to do it at. And they're like, can we do it at Bow and Arrow Brewery? And I was like, that would be awful.
I mean, so loud.
Yeah, and I'm trying to tell them that, and they're like, well, what if we just like do it upstairs? And I'm like, well, you have a theater. Why can't we do it in there? And she's like, oh, you would do it there? Yes. Why would I would much rather have? I said,
I'll buy the keg.
huh?
I want a keg. It's a trick lock, right? Or
Trick lock, yeah.
And trick lock is awesome in the way that
we could do a 6th barrel, right?
Probably. But I mean, like they're gonna have like, let's go to a place where we can get good audio.
Yeah.
I know that you have the place dampened for sound.
And so it's not awkward for him either. Because if it's super loud and we're trying to interview
Fucking
him,
A.
we can't hear him. He can't hear us. That'll be a bad experience.
You can't hear my witty remarks and/or jokes.
He can't really understand how really hot you are,
and no one's gonna yell, "Show us your tits, Holly Bird!"
Yeah.
Boom, boom. Show
That
that
happens
dick.
all the time.
Show that dick.
Billy Bell, let's see that Navajo dick.
That happens to us all the time.
Dude, see, that's why we quit doing live shows. It was like, all right, everybody's seen the dick, guys. Like, show it again.
It's like I showed it's like she just got here though.
Nice ball cleavage.
Ball cleavage.
She just got here though. I was showing it earlier. I'm sorry, miss, you missed it.
Hey, Smiley, I'm asexual too.
There's somebody who follows me on like Instagram. I'm not gonna call them out, but I get some
His
weird.
name is at
followers.
McFartyson.
I get some weird attention lately, and if I don't have cleavage on the podcast, I always get a message from this guy that I did not have enough cleavage. So I'm expecting that message tonight.
I'll take my shirt off.
And I'm just like,
JK,
why
LOL.
do you guys love that so much? It's so weird. But
Why do guys love boobs?
Yeah, I know.
Why does positive attraction work?
I know. It's just
Joker.
I don't get it either,
question.
Holly. It's just it's meat sacks.
I know. Why can't women just walk around topless like everyone else?
So, yeah, that's been a thing. But it doesn't happen publicly, so that's good. It's just he'll send me a DM like, hey, girl.
I just want you to know,
It's
though.
like, Holly, I have some notes.
Yeah.
I have notes.
I enjoyed the content. You were really funny in the last part of the segment, but
Boobs.
Your sweater puppies were nowhere to be seen.
You need to release the sweater puppies more. You got to let those babies breathe.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, though, like what other women say, like, I think it's not fair that a man could be shirtless in public and a woman can't.
That would cause so much distraction.
I just want you to know, I'm against the men being shirtless in public as well.
Me too.
I am too.
Right. I'm not.
I see it.
Depending.
I go to work and I see a guy wearing only the little, like, 70s shorts and some tennis shoes, and he's running, and that's all he has on. And I hate it.
Right, I'm sure.
Put a shirt on.
Put a shirt on, bro.
Put a shirt on, you Sally.
Yeah. There's cavemen that didn't have shirts, you know? What the fuck?
No.
Oh my God, we had growing up in Farmington. It was very, very risque for a person to be shirtless.
Oh, yeah.
But we had that neighbor.
Oh, man. Shirtless John.
Like just doing choring in his front yard, shirtless. And my mom would be like, "This is fucking disgusting." Of course, she wouldn't say the F word, but she's like, "This guy has like tiny shorts on."
The cops are like, "Stop calling us for this, please." It's not illegal.
That is public indecency.
Exactly. The thing is, my parent. I come from the most conservative family. You know, what with us being, super Christian, and like Navajos are modest just to begin with. It's well known that I don't make eye contact ever, and two, I'm not going to show my nipples to anybody unless it's my wife.
Those nips are not coming out,
and unless we're like twined into the sanctity of marriage, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Chris has never seen me without a shirt off.
I wear no shirt all the time.
Yeah, I've seen Chris's bits and pieces.
Yeah,
bits and pieces.
I'm pretty white trash.
Yeah, so
Like,
I've
like
seen
to
him
wear
with
a
us.
shirt.
Has Chris ever seen with my shirt off?
No,
never
no.
in his life.
So I don't go outside often with a shirt off, but around the house, I'll come home, go in my room, take my shirt off. I don't. I don't like. So this is the farmer, ranch hand, white trash in me. I don't like to wear shoes, and I don't like to wear a shirt. But I'm not going to do that in public.
Can confirm.
If you've ever seen back when I was still doing live dance, if you'd ever seen me, I was basically wearing a glorified loincloth and a collar.
Yep.
Let's see that native dick.
Let's see that dick.
He did one night at the
Is that
lounge? The Reptilian Lounge. His thing came off.
Yeah, my loincloth came right off while I was doing a spin.
Dick flopping.
Dick.
No, I had underwear on.
Hold on. Dude, say that again, Holly. I like the way Holly says that.
Yeah, me too.
Dick.
Dick. Let's see that dick.
I want to see that dick.
Dick. I can't even do it.
I mean, it's not like aesthetically like cool to look at.
Dicks? No, they are not.
So I can imagine Holly be like, "See a dick," unless
I
it was
that dick.
So one of the I hate to keep referencing Letterkenny, but one of the great things about that show is like, so there's like these two hockey players, and they're constantly like catcalling women, and they're like they'll just take turns going back and forth, right? And they're like, and so then later in the seasons, they're in the gym working out, and these two gay guys walk up and just start doing it to them.
Yes.
And they just go back and forth.
I love that.
And like the stuff they say, you're just like, holy shit.
So, okay, about 2 weeks ago, maybe a week ago, I don't know. Anyway, one of my favorite comedians that I've met in my journey of being a comedian is Anthony DeSimito.
Okay.
And he is a gay guy, and he is so freaking cute. Like, I love him so much. But he has this joke about a drag queen, and her name is Consuelo Consumio or something like that. Consuelo Consucket or something. And it is so funny to me to see him perform and talk about the same things that straight men talk about, but like reversed. You know what I mean?
Right,
dick.
Dick. He talks about that dick. And it is so funny to me to see the straight men just like, they'll start laughing at something because they're like, oh yeah, oh no.
Dick.
Oh no, I'm being objectified now. And I love it. Yeah. I love him so much because he's so brave and bold and like just says it, man. And, you know.
Hey, it needs to be out there.
It's great. I love it. It's my favorite thing ever because I'm like, now you guys understand how I feel like all the time.
I just want to be like walking outside and like a car full of gay guys drive by and they're all, hey there, whip it out there. And I'd be like running into the house.
They're like, hey. They're all,
Billy,
hey.
guess what just happened to me?
Oh, God, I feel like...
Oh, my God.
And they're like, hey, we want to see that dick.
Show that dick.
I'm just going to say that all the time now.
Show that ass cleavage, yo.
Ass cleavage.
I don't know. This all sounds like amazingly awesome to me.
I'm waiting for the day. So if, say I were a person of the gym, of somebody who did, you know, chisel himself in a way that you would be admired by the you know, sexually admired, is what I'm saying. I can't speak for all women because women probably deal with this all the time, but I'd be flattered if like
here's the deal.
I would love it. I mean, no one goes into modeling and acting without wanting people to stare at them.
True. But here's my thing. There is a time when it's flattering, right? Okay. But let me tell you this. I am a woman who is 5'1".
Oh, yeah.
Walking down the street.
That's how tall you are?
Yes.
You seem taller.
Thank you. That's because I wear heels a lot.
That makes sense.
And she loves that dick.
And I love that dick. So here's the thing, though. I do not enjoy having men yell things at me. Whether it's a compliment or not, I don't enjoy being yelled at while I'm walking down the street. It's terrifying. It can be terrifying. And those are the ones like, or I also hate, this is what I get downtown all the time when I'm walking down the street, downtown. Always. People are like, smile, girl. You'd be so much prettier.
Oh, gosh.
You get that, too.
Do you get that?
Yeah, I look really grim when I'm walking down the street.
I'm like, you know what would be weirder?
Smiley.
You know what's weirder than me looking grim walking down the street? If I was just smiling for no fucking reason.
Right?
Like, what? Like, why would I smile while I'm walking? Just
you're all walking along, all of a sudden you go, I think women should work on, like, creepy smiles.
Yeah. Like
so when a man's like, hey, girl, it'd be a lot better if you smile, just be all,
You start.
I do this thing where I give people a dead stare. And that's my favorite thing to do when they hit on me.
Or you just like put like looks like their dick and just like bite on it.
Yeah, just like.
No, you started out all nice, though. You're all. Like you're a pit bull, like just shredding the dick.
I want to tear that dick up.
You ever, just start saying inappropriate, fucked up things. You ever have a girl go down on you, start blowing you, then just fucking bite into it as hard and and they're like, ooh. Then you're like, then they grab it and then Indian bird.
You ever Indian bird somebody's dick?
You ever Indian bird someone's dick?
Holly, I'm sorry, Smiley. Can I get a beer? I'm having a good time conversating, talking about the dick.
So, if we have people watching that aren't live tweeting the Golden Globes, because the Golden Globes are happening right now. I almost said the Golden Girls.
Oh,
thank you for being a prize.
Do you know what's okay? So over the last year, I want to say there's 5 movies up for Best Picture for Golden Globe. I've seen 1 of the 5.
What are the 5
What are the
ones?
5?
See if you can guess. Take a guess.
Is it Green Book?
Green
No.
Book.
Oh, I watched that movie today. And
What's that book? What's that?
It's incredible. You should see it. And it's almost it's really heartwarming in a way because I thought it was going to be like this artsy avant-garde like look at racism in the 1950s. It's pretty much like
I'm sorry. That one is up for Best Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy. Sorry.
That movie is incredible.
So I'm watching the one for drama.
Oh, drama.
I
Is
don't watch
Bohemian
those.
Rhapsody on there?
Done. 1. She got 1 of them.
I'm pretty good at this game.
Now what's the next one? What's another one that's up? Because I have no idea. Like one of them, I'm like, really? Okay.
I don't know. I feel like this year was super sad for movies. Like, I'm just going to be really honest. 2018 was awful for movies. We had, like, Aquaman. We had...
Aquaman's supposed to be pretty amazing.
Yeah, I heard it's really good. But what I'm saying is, like,
So,
I can only think of, like, a couple of movies
One
that
of the
even
best
stand
motion
out.
picture for drama is a movie about superheroes.
Is it? Is
Yes.
it The Avengers?
No.
Is it...
it was a superhero I've never heard of.
Is it it's not Avengers.
Nope. Close.
Is it Black Panther?
Yes.
Oh, Black Panther. Thank you. That was
Really?
a good movie, and also didn't the one with the raccoon that I love so much, Guardians of the Galaxy.
No.
That wasn't this year.
No.
That was
So for Best Picture, Motion Picture for Drama, you have Black Panther,
okay.
A
That's
Star Is
understandable.
Born, which is a remake of a remake,
Yeah.
which
I
I'd like
didn't
to.
even
I'd
watch
still
it.
actually
I
like to
wanna
see it.
but I don't know.
Then you have If Beale Street Could Talk, which I just saw the preview for the other day.
Me too.
Well, yeah, because the critics get all that stuff way ahead of
Right,
time.
right. Then Bohemian Rhapsody, and then Black Klansman.
Oh.
Those are the best motion picture for drama. Best motion picture for musical or comedy.
Ooh.
This movie, I don't know how it's... I mean, it must be good. Because
Yeah.
the name to me seems really awful. Crazy Rich Asians.
Oh my God,
Actually,
that is
I
so
heard
good.
It's good.
It
I
is?
heard it's
I
really
saw it in
good.
the theater. That is so
I heard it's
freaking
also
good.
beautifully shot.
Okay.
Okay.
It is
sorry
amazing.
to bother you on any of these lists because I saw that movie
I don't see
the
it.
other day. Okay, I just want to talk about this. That movie was beautifully shot. It is the most beautifully shot movie I've ever seen in my life. The writing is
Yeah.
amazing. And it's making like a political stand about like what's going on in our country right now. But they do it in a way that everybody can understand and people can relate to. And then it has like a weird twist at the end. But that movie was on Hulu so quick after it was out of the theaters, and I was like, well, maybe it kind of sucks. Like, maybe that's why they did that so quick. It was one of the best movies I have ever seen. Not just the best movie of the year, one of the best movies I have ever seen. And I am sad that it didn't.
So one of the movies for musical or comedy is Vice. I didn't realize that was a comedy about Dick Cheney.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen the previews for it? Because it's Christian Bale as Dick Cheney.
Right.
And he looks like him. He does not.
He looks exactly like him. It's kind of freaky.
But the thing that freaks me out, too, is, and I never had thought of this, they do Sam Rockwell as George Bush. And I was like, that's genius.
It's so perfect.
I have to see this.
Well, it's also one of those things like, who else could be George W. Bush?
Will Ferrell.
Absolutely.
Will Ferrell did the Bush
in a serious.
He could do it. I think Will Ferrell.
Oh no, it's not. It's a comedy. That movie's a comedy.
And also, if Will Ferrell, here's the thing too. I think if Will Ferrell had to do it serious, I bet he could do it.
So Mary Poppins Returns is up for best. Does that? I mean,
it is a musical.
No, I hear you. But I was really like, that's a thing that really I was very leery of.
Mary Poppins freaked me out as a child.
It did, but it's still a classic.
I don't think it needed to be
so hard to touch. So hard to touch. You know, I mean, you have who was the guy? Who was the lead actor in that movie?
Dick Van Dyke.
Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah.
Such an amazing performance by Dick Van Dyke. Yeah. Even to this day.
That's all I remember from it is Dick Van Dyke.
Honestly, that's me too.
I'm scared.
I'm sorry, like
a spoonful of sugar.
Julie Andrews.
Andrews was pretty amazing.
Fucking amazing.
Yes.
It's still my all-time Wood #1.
Oh wow.
Wood.
Young Wood.
You know what I'm scared for is the Dumbo movie. I'm excited for it, but I'm scared for it because that's one of my favorite movies. I don't think it needed to be remade.
Live action is now the new bullshit for like old animated classics.
My favorite Disney movie is Lilo and Stitch. Like a lot of people know this, but I'm
live
obsessed
action Lilo
with
and Stitch coming 2021.
I love Lilo and Stitch.
I do too. That is like, I am obsessed with Stitch. Like anybody in my life knows this. Like I have a Stitch wallet. I love that movie so much.
And the big sister, Thick.
Thick.
I just recently watched Coco. That movie's amazing.
Oh, that movie's amazing. But here's the thing. I saw like what they were trying. I don't know how real it is, but it's supposed to be like what Disney is going to do as the live action Stitch.
Oh.
And it is awful.
Wait, they're going to do a live action Lilo and Stitch?
Yes. And I am, as a big fan, I'm against it, but mostly I am against whatever heinous monster they have turned Stitch into for the live action, like computer generated thing. It looks terrifying. I'm like, Stitch is not terrifying.
No, he's cute and
adorable.
I have to say one thing. Can we stop making the live action Jungle Book? The live action Jungle Book. We've done this like 2 times, 3 times.
3 times, I think now.
There's Mowgli. There's the Jungle Book. There's how many live action ones can we do?
We don't need it. We do not need it.
I get it. You're like, oh, it's scarier. I get it. It's
just
fine.
leave it alone. Leave the Disney classics alone. Let's reintroduce the classics to the little kids.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
we don't need to redo them.
Tailspin.
There's a reason we love them.
I loved Tailspin.
Yes, me too.
Ooh.
I love Tailspin.
Isn't that still just like the Jungle Book, but in like the 20s?
It was like the Jungle Book, but then all of a sudden they flew like an airplane.
Yeah,
that's right.
And all of a sudden they were like,
It's like at Disney Studios, like we need some new stuff, but we kind of want to push the old stuff. And some dude's just like fucking high as shit. He's like, all right, man, Baloo Bear, and I don't know, a couple other people. And they own an airplane.
It's a freight company.
Yeah, the freight company. They haul freight, and they're like,
but they're
draw it up. We'll see if we'll get it. We'll see if it gets there.
They're against the evil corporation that's run by Shere Khan, like the tiger. Yeah.
Right.
Are you writing this down? Come on.
Are you writing this down, man? This is gold, man. And then it happened. I forgot about Tailspin.
I love
his
Tailspin.
secretary is going to be the snake.
Look into my eyes.
Someone's just totally loaded. They're just like, I don't know what to do with these characters, man. Fuck it. They don't. Yeah. They're watching Wings and they're like, yeah.
Let's do this, but with Baloo.
With Baloo. Wings, man. Wings.
I guess, I agree with Holly. I don't think there should be a live action Lion King.
No.
But
Lion King.
Lion King or Lilo and Stitch or
There is,
any of
but
the
I've heard
Dumbo?
the Lion King
or
the play.
Dumbo.
I've heard the Lion King play though is pretty amazing.
It is. I have gone to see. So
I would go see that shit.
I had a friend who was one of the animals, like in the Broadway play, and I got to go see it, and it is lit. So the play, like that Broadway show, is amazing, but we don't need a live action movie.
Let me tell you this: if they come out and they go, "All right, we're gonna do a live action Lion King,"
Are you gonna have lions in it?
with Cirque du Soleil,
Ooh,
we're like, I'm in.
I would be down.
I'm done.
I'd be down.
I'd go to that.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'll be ready.
I understand. Okay, Broadway shows. I don't know. I imagine they're expensive.
Oh, so you do like $75 a pop.
Okay, that's a lot of money.
It is, but it's also an experience.
Yeah.
Like if you go see Hamilton or
What is
No.
the average price of a Broadway show in New
well,
York?
like
Like
the
on
shit. Oh,
Broadway?
I'm sure it's really high.
I don't even know.
Let's
It's like
pull it up.
I would say it's like a stadium ticket price maybe.
I've only seen like the touring acts that come through like Pope Joy.
Oh
And
yeah,
that's-
like Wicked.
Oh,
and
Broadway.
that's still like
$75
bucks, yeah.
for or more. Like if you want the good seats, it's like 150.
Yeah,
Let's see.
easily. I always see the Chinese acrobats when they come through
Okay,
town.
let's find out.
Okay, I want to know like okay, so I have.
Did you know there's a School of Rock, the musical?
I have I have $80.
Okay.
Am I getting into the show on Broadway?
Probably not.
No,
Let's see.
you barely make it into Pope Joy.
I mean, because you've got Hamilton. Hamilton's like the big one, right?
Okay, Hamilton.
It
or
is
like
right now.
a Book of Mormon.
I don't think that one's on Broadway anymore. It's touring now.
Okay.
So okay, let's look at the Frozen. Frozen is now on Broadway.
Okay, Frozen. I'll say if I want a
Okay, it says buy tickets. It says $57.50.
that's fair.
Holy- That's kind of expensive though.
No,
No,
that is
Broadway.
nuts.
The Lion King tickets were
Hold on.
so expensive.
The Lion King is on Broadway, so let's
Yeah.
see what that is. Buy tickets, $112. So yeah, it is. It does
Yeah.
matter.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Depends on the
What?
show. Yeah.
I actually want to know what the most expensive Broadway cheapest ticket you can get. Is,
Wait,
is Cats still a thing? Is Rent
No,
a
Cat-
thing?
Cats
I
is
was
no longer on
obsessed
Broadway.
with Cats when I was a kid.
There's a
This-
Mean Girls.
Yes,
Ooh.
that's a new one,
That's a new one.
and I heard it's phenomenal if you're a fan of Mean
They're
Girls.
$70 for the tickets.
I heard it's worth every penny.
Okay, there's Wicked.
I love Wicked. I've seen
Those
that.
are $90.
Holy shit.
Worth it. The Wicked
These are
tickets
just
are
it
worth
just tells you right away buy tickets and it has a thing. This is for Broadway. So let's see, Pretty Woman the musical,
Oh, I don't know
Wow.
about that.
I would
one.
go see that. I would pay.
Okay.
I would easily play
Aladdin the musical.
$80.
Oh,
I paid
cheap.
$80 for that.
For what?
For Aladdin
Aladdin?
ticket.
It's $57.
Hell
you don't
yeah.
have to. You don't have to.
I'd go see
I
that.
would get the nicer seats with $80.
You would.
You probably would.
pay
Yeah, there probably would be
premium.
premium tickets. Premium tickets, man. On Broadway. So whenever they say like on Broadway, so I assume it's a street and there's several theaters.
I imagine.
Okay, that's what I mean. Because like you always hear things like off Broadway, on Broadway, but I assume there's not just like one theater and they're just doing all these shows.
I imagine it's a strip of the classic theater.
Okay.
Theater.
All right,
the
here we go.
theater.
Let's look up Hamilton.
Oh,
Holy
God. Yes, you don't even want to know how much Hamilton.
$200 for a ticket.
Yeah,
Holy
and that's cheaper now than it
Yeah,
was.
probably.
That is the current classic. So
Yeah.
that's like
When it first
No,
came out,
it's
it was
it's
like
the
a
rage
lot.
now.
So it's the
Yeah.
number one. Number two is Phantom of the Opera.
still
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
since the 80s.
$30 for a ticket for Phantom of the Opera. Quite the difference.
that's not bad.
Yeah, no, but that was
Yeah.
like the rage like in
Right.
the 80s.
King Kong. Okay,
They
there's
have a King Kong musical?
$50.
King come.
You can
Go see
see,
that.
Whoa.
I want to see that.
you can still see Phantom of the Opera on Broadway.
I'm sure. Yeah.
What the fuck was
Absolutely,
this play then,
absolutely.
guy? I was supposed to see some dick.
Dick.
I was supposed to see some dip.
People just tuning in are like, wow, they say dick a lot on this show.
And they say it really
But nobody
weird.
says it as good as Holly.
Duke. You guys are so. I love it.
It's like Diok. I can't. even-
Duke.
That's funny.
It's like she's trying to say milk.
So many people have like popped in like the last like hour.
They're like, why is that girl?
Who's this new blood that's saying dick? The funny part is like we did our show on New Year's Eve, so there was like people that like tuned in that haven't watched in a while, and the most inappropriate person was a woman. She's like, "Your new blood's hot." Sorry, I'm drunk.
I enjoyed it though. Damn, new blood.
It was our friend Alexis.
I enjoyed it. You know what? I was all right with it.
Yeah, there was a lot of good pictures taken the night of New Year's Eve.
Yes,
like none better than Smiley doing the Superman logo with a shirt. So I go on this. I have this site. I took that photo, and I have like this. I got asked to be like to try this beta of this like new Instagram site. It's like photos. And I put that on there, and oh my god, dude, it has like 70 or 80 likes.
It's a great picture. I don't know who took that, but
who took that photo?
I did.
You did. You took it.
Yeah.
So I stole it, and I stuck it up there, and it's got like
Holly, come here. Someone needs to take a photo of this.
It's actually interesting, like just because the party has a tradition of next year will be 20 years.
20 years,
and like that's. Like
we're talking about Dan Mayfield's New Year's Eve party.
New Year's Eve bash.
Yeah.
Which is apparently a birthday party
for some. I don't even remember the guy's
for Casper.
Casper. Local legend Dan Mayfield.
Yeah,
what part of it?
Yeah, and like Dandy was like, "Were you guys at enemy of the show, Dandy?" He messaged me and he goes, "Were you at Dan Mayfield's New Year's Eve party?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Wow." He's like, "That's like the place to be for New Year's Eve." And I was like, "It is."
It was so fun too.
It was so fun.
It is.
And we had freaking like New Mexico album of the year lady play some songs.
Plus number 2 Alibi Best of Birthday comedian Holly Bird also performed.
Shit.
Billy Belmont was there.
Billy Belmont was there. He's amazing.
Billy Belmont goes second, number 2 composer in the city. Behind Dylan, who doesn't really, compose. He writes music, which I guess loosely can be a composer.
Haven't you done soundtracks?
Dylan who?
Dylan Moonshine Blind Dylan.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I should be more excited. Congratulations, Dylan.
Best composer in the city.
We'll see.
Oh, I mean, he composes.
So let's talk about this whole thing, this best of thing.
Yeah.
So last year, Albuquerque or the Alibi didn't do like best of anything we forgot.
Yeah.
And they don't have a category for podcast.
Right.
So we kind of got hosed. I mean, we've won the award 5 times, 5-time champions of best of Albuquerque.
We
podcasting.
should have a belt.
We'll get a belt. Don't you worry.
We'll get a belt.
So people we had this idea a while back and we've never followed through with it. And I think this year is the year we thought we do, because I've actually had people bring this up to me twice now. We need to do a best of 10 drink minimum of Albuquerque.
That'd be amazing.
Winner take all.
We need
Battle Royal.
Can we have a belt for the best person?
That would be great. Well, it depends on, but I mean, for what? No, we would do something like that because I mean, we'd have multiple categories.
Have a lot of them.
We'd have to sit down. We'd actually have to take it serious, and we'd have to like choose categories, and then we would just do print up shit like that. I've got a laser printer.
Yeah,
totally. And like Holly would be the judge for best dick.
Dick.
Best dick goes to so and so.
Dick. They'd have to send me dick pics.
Yeah.
Don't say things like that.
That doesn't happen. Don't. Let's not. Do not do that.
No.
Just kidding.
Do not do that.
Do not send them to me. That was a
you
joke.
Fucked up on that one, didn't you?
Shit. I already get enough of them. Don't do it. Don't do it. Do not do it.
Because then we'd have to like put them up on the green screen and be like, "What's the top 5?" Here we are. But we could even do a show where we have it on the green screen. I'd be like, "Here are the top 5." And
here are Billy's top 5 thickest honey dips of 2019.
We can get in like a full-on fisticuffs about burgers.
I got to tell you, man. I got to think. I don't know if you guys have had it yet, but you got to go to Hollow Spirits. Have the hamburger.
Oh,
I need to go down there.
Oh, so you know which hamburger we haven't talked about? I have had this. I have this, and this is not going to be like a debate of anything because I have some issues.
You have issues.
So everybody talks about this Laguna burger.
Ooh,
You know?
Okay.
You guys know what I'm talking about?
I know.
Please don't
I know what you're talking about.
Okay, Billy?
I'm familiar. I've
Okay.
never had it.
So for people watching that are not from Albuquerque, we have this place outside of Albuquerque. It's like a rest stop. It's called Laguna.
Yes.
You know?
It's
and
delicious.
and the hamburgers are supposed to be pretty amazing. I've never been out there. Never had the hamburgers out there. And so they built one in town. James and I went. Right?
Yes.
So here was our synopsis of this infamous best burger in the area.
Infamous, yeah.
Infamous.
Totally. It had some notoriety.
So we
behind
go
it.
in. So we walk in, and it's over there, like by the Indian Cultural Center.
12th Street.
Yeah.
12th Street
And-
and all.
Yeah. And so we go in.
So this is not the original Laguna Burger.
No.
Hold on.
This is the second one.
Okay.
You'll. I think you'll like
I
this.
just want to make sure. Okay.
So I'm just telling you my experience. So we go in, and the big thing is they take a big wad of beef, like a ball,
Yeah.
and they throw it on the grill, and they have these huge box weight things that are like on a hinge that they
Yeah.
come down and they just crush the hamburger with.
Ooh.
Right? So I'm just kind of like, oh, wow. That's fantastic. So I order the hamburger with fries and an iced tea.
I get one of their specialty hot dogs.
James got the specialty hot dog, which I thought was crazy because like you're going to come here for and not eat the hamburger.
Well, no,
Right.
they specialize. They only have 2 items, so I
right.
figured.
They have a hot dog and a hamburger.
Yeah, so I figured
So
we try
when
each.
when you're eating a hamburger, what goes with the hamburger? What's the thing on the side?
Fries?
Fries.
So I get the hamburger and I get the fries. James gets a big thing of the fries. Hamburger, 4 out of 5, really good. I would go there and eat that hamburger again. I think it's a must try.
Yes.
Best
And-
hot dog I've
Absolutely.
ever had.
Ooh.
Their French fries,
So good.
disgusting.
Yes, their French fries were garbage.
Oh,
Garbage.
No.
Absolute
I
ruined
don't
the
think
experience.
I've ever eaten their French fries.
Garbage.
Well, you shouldn't because it's basically like eating like paper or something.
Yes.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, like frozen, over-fried
Ew,
fries that taste like
no.
husk of fries.
No.
And I was just totally turned off by how bad the fries were.
Could not understand how you can like, oh, we made this lovely like specialty hot dog and these like really like special hamburgers, and then like here's some garbage fries with that.
There's
by
some
the way,
shit fries. What better? What is what a more iconic combo of food in the
Well,
United States than the hamburger and the fries?
That's how I feel about In-N-Out. I like their burger is fine. Their fries, disgusting, garbage, horrible, awful.
really.
Hate them.
I think the fries are okay.
I hate
in
them.
it, but that
I've never had worse fries than
and
they have over
your
there.
fucking commercial goes Laguna. It drives me crazy.
It drives
I'm not
me
familiar.
crazy.
I'll try it.
The
I want-
fries were disgusting.
Yeah, skip the fries. Just
Their burgers are good though.
Ask
I
if they
like
have
the
onion
burgers.
rings or something because
Yeah,
that
you
hamburger
have
was
something else.
fantastic.
I had a good burger today. I don't have to tell you where it's from, but
Why?
I'll tell you it's
Why won't you tell me it's from?
because it's really expensive, and I'm not about gourmet burgers.
Elephant Bar.
Yes.
Yeah, busted.
yeah.
How'd you know?
Oh.
Because you were in the Uptown area.
You're in
Yeah,
that
yeah. I was in
area.
Uptown. Had the.
Did you go to the dueling piano bar?
had
Uptown
to-
You know
Funk?
what they used to have at Elephant Bar that was so good? They had these spring
Dick.
rolls and dick.
Dick.
It was spring rolls with a side of dick.
Dick.
Dick. But they had these spring rolls. They were so fucking, and they got rid of it. And so now I will never go there again.
Oh gosh.
They had a
no.
peanut sauce that was so good.
They had a penis sauce.
Dick sauce.
I'm not even gonna try to say it, but I get the idea. It's like you're trying to say milk, but you're saying dick.
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 I mean, they had this dick sauce, and I had to go. I had to go to the clinic. I had to go to the clinic and get it taken care of. Elephant
Oh,
Bar,
Lord.
great burger. That was all I'm saying.
Was it a good burger? I've never eaten their burger.
And the thing is, you sold me at the word pub burger.
Right.
Oh, we can't do this again. We've had entire episodes where we just rant
No.
about burgers.
But James
oh,
and I
love
went there.
burgers though.
And like I went to the San Antonio Al Cafe, and I was not impressed.
Yeah, no, I'm not
Not
impressed
by
with their burger either.
You don't
know
impress
who I loved,
me
though,
much.
was 5-Star Burger. I liked 5-Star Burger. Loved.
All right, we're not going to get into this.
We're not going to do it. Okay. I think it's
No, because we almost got in a fist fight the last time.
Oh, but to me, I think it's
or James told Billy that, or somebody told somebody that the hamburger they liked was a trash burger.
Oh, yeah. But I think that my thing with 5-Star Burger is their green chili, the strips of green chili that are fried. I think that's what I love.
They do that
much
at
about
Hollow
them.
Spirits.
So
Hollow Spirits has a hamburger that's a 50-50 burger. It's 50% beef.
And the thing is, this is genius. I don't know why nobody has done this before.
Yeah.
I know, because when you talked about it, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to Hollow Spirits.
I was going to eat a hamburger.
I'm also going to put in an application for employment at Hollow Spirits.
Also, Chris is just thinking about the burger sounding like Blade Runner or Sling Blade.
Yeah. You got mushroom biscuits. I will tell you this. I will go back to Laguna Burger, because that's what I'm going to call it.
You just won't get the fries.
I won't get the fries. I'll say, can I have a burger and a hot dog?
It's like, sir, can I please just get the burger and some dick?
I just need the burger and some dick.
Can I have a whole basket of dick?
I need a whole basket of dick.
And it's that Pueblo dick, though. I don't know if you want that.
Just a basket.
Is this the first time that I've said that on this show?
I take that back.
Okay.
You don't want that
You guys are
dick.
very excited.
You don't want that dick.
I don't want that dick.
What's the largest basket of dicks you got?
How many dicks do I get in that basket?
See, I wait till the wavy hour because I know my mom's not watching, so I can say dick 100 times.
Oh, your mom's gonna be like, Holly, come on.
10 Drink Nation, just so you're not like freaking out and like will post like report us to the PC police. I am Navajo, and I can say that you don't want any of that Pueblo dick.
Wow!
Oh my God! I mean, I saw that coming, but that's awesome.
Ouch!
I like it.
Ouch!
Good job, Billy. Good job.
I'm gonna
Billy.
just distance myself and
From
walk
Billy.
away.
The opinion of Billy Belmont does not reflect the opinion of of 10 Drink Nation.
But in largely does is the opinion of the Navajo people.
Yeah, I don't speak for the Navajo people.
Wow.
But it's intertribal bickering. It's almost like a sibling rivalry, if that were a thing in intertribal connections.
Hey, Billy, what do you call the San Domingos? Shit diggers.
Wow.
I'm
what? Walking
Shit
away.
What?
Don't understand what's going on. I don't know what's happening.
Okay,
my hands are in the air. My hands are in the air.
Where mine too.
I don't know what's happening.
I'm just I don't.
So
I do not.
There's racism I don't understand happening.
I don't know what's going on. I don't. Oh God. Oh.
Okay, so we should probably end the show soon.
No. So the other day, this is kind of funny. I go with my coworker to help this woman with her computer, and this is probably one of the funniest things I've said in a while. So we're looking at her computer and we can't figure out why it's not talking and getting updates from Windows. So we go back and forth, and he's like, well, maybe it's a group policy problem. I was like, well, if it's a group policy problem, and then it wouldn't be doing this. He's like, well, but it is doing, it is, not talking to the server. And we go back and forth for like 2 minutes, and I go, and the lady's like, just eyes are glossed over. Finally, I said, sorry, I guess I should explain. We are arguing in Nerd. And he starts laughing, and he goes, what do you mean arguing in Nerd? I go, I'm sorry. And I said, actually, we're just debating in Nerd. Because we're going back and forth. We're like, well, if it was doing that, then it would be doing this. And she's just like, what? And I was like, sorry, we're arguing in Nerd talk.
We're arguing in Nerd.
In the nerdiest of Nerd.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know if I could recognize that nowadays.
No.
Yeah, no.
Not in that way.
Yeah,
but it was really funny. She's like, I have no idea what you guys are saying. I was like, well, we're arguing in Nerd back and forth. In nerd lingo.
In nerd.
Have you ever had like a friend that like works for like the railroad or something, and they start you like ask them about work, and they just say like a whole sentence, and you're like, I have no idea what language you're talking.
So my new boyfriend met my dad, and they both know about like a simulator thing that like the Air Force uses. My dad worked on it.
Sure.
So literally, it was 30 to 45 minutes of shit I did not understand.
Nerd
I was
talk.
just like, oh my god, what just happened? Nerds just happened.
Well, you got that manifold there and kind of doing, I don't know what.
Yeah.
I'm spouting off where
everybody has like that language though. Like if Billy and like our friend Marty talk, they start talking about like guitars and like pickups and shit, and it's just like.
You see me with comedians, we just
or
talk
pedals,
about really
pedals.
sad things.
Pedals is where they lose me.
Yeah.
Right, you're just like, I don't even know.
They have pedals that sound like sex things.
James has hung out with the comedians, and we just talk about really sad experiences.
Sure.
And it's like...
I had to get away from them for a little bit.
Yeah, because we're like, what's the worst bomb you ever had? Oh, I bombed one time on an airplane.
So depressing. I was like, what is this?
It's how we
holy
nerd out.
smokes, do you listen to these people? How they talk.
Right. What language is this?
It's dick.
Well, like I'm hanging out with Billy and Marty, and they're like, "Well, I got the big muff. I was hitting the big muff."
And the thing is, like, you have these gain options, and the wiring itself was actually better in Russia when they built it in the 80s,
right?
As opposed to the American one where the transistors actually went upgraded to like a.
But no, you have like Big Muff, and then you have people. Then they're like, "Well, what about blah blah blah?" Well, he makes his own pedals. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
But they literally sat there for 45 minutes just and you know what I'm talking about.
Yes,
military people talking acronyms. And I don't understand. It's just a lot of words that don't make sense.
Well, that's the thing too, is like half the time they don't know what the acronym means. They just know what the acronym is and what it makes sense. Because like I worked where I worked at before. I would say, like, we're from this area, we're going to work on this, da-da-da, and people will go, what does that stand for? And I go, I have no idea.
So they know what the acronym, they know what the acronym means, but they don't know what it is.
Right.
They couldn't tell you what it was.
So at my old job, I was a CSU. I was a computer support unit. And... you would have you would say, hey, we're from the CSUs. We're here to work on this. And, you would talk about different, there's so many. I can't even think of I can't even tell you what they are because I can't think of them,
But so they developed like a bromance. They love each other over all these words that were not even words. And I was literally sitting there the whole time like, whoop.
He went TTDY, he went to da-da-da-da, and
TTDY,
blah, blah, blah.
And he did this, and then the computer this, and sim this, and airplane things, and airplane things.
But I had a friend that used to work for the railroad, and I'd be like, so did you have a good day today? He's like, it was terrible, man. We had to go dog catch, and then we had to run over here, and we had to deadhead home, and I'm like, what?
What? What are you...
And he's like, sorry, you don't understand. We had to go...
It's a weird thing because like we talk about the show Letterkenny that we've recently been watching, and so I preface this thing like, Chris, you have to watch this show, but let me tell you, there are segments where I have no fucking clue what they're talking about.
I had to translate a bunch of shit.
It's like a lot of rural speak. And it's like it sounds funny. The timing's right. The syllables are there. They're just like chopping off like bam, 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 and it's funny to me. But I have no fucking clue what they're saying. Then.
The funny one. So to add on to that, when I was a senior in high school, we got a foreign exchange student from Germany, and he spoke English.
Yeah,
but he spoke the King's English.
That's
what they say.
I don't know what that is.
That's proper English.
Like from England.
No slang. Like what the upper class of.
Oh, okay, no slang.
Yeah, no slang. Yeah. So he moves. So he moves in with us.
It's the penis.
So we're talking. Dick. So we're like, well, he speaks English.
No, Dick is a proper name,
right? But so we're talking to him we're like, oh, he speaks English. So we're talking to him, and then finally one day, he's like, can you explain something to me? And I was like, what? And he's like, where is yonder? And I was like, what do you mean? And he goes, well, your dad. When I asked him, he says, take that over yonder. You know?
Oh, because it's an old English word.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's
Yonder.
but it's old language. You know, it's like take it over yonder. That just means take it over there.
Yeah, just take like
Yeah.
right over there. Like,
And,
where I'm looking.
And then he's like, "What is y'all?
Y'all.
It's
Y'all.
plural of you.
What's up, y'all?"
Sup,
Yes,
y'all?
yeah.
It says
And so that's when I first started going, "Oh, we have weird dialect," you know.
Well, yonder's an old English word, and so
It
is y'all.
It is, but the way you use it in rural areas, like, "Oh, just take it over yonder." You know, that just means just take it over that way a little bit. You know,
where I'm looking. Take it over there.
Take it over there.
right where I'm looking,
Shoo.
where I'm pointing, just shoo over there.
So deaf people, my mom was raised by 2 deaf parents, and deaf people have this thing where they just kind of go like this, you know, like over there.
Yeah.
My mom and I think that is a proper way to tell people where you're going.
Yeah, of course.
Like, you know, like over there.
Right.
And nobody gets it
No,
ever.
they're all
Well,
shoo shoo.
Yeah.
Shoo shoo.
Like, I
native
don't know.
people point with their lips.
They
and a lot of
do.
People don't get that.
They do. I had a friend that was from Farmington. He was a white guy, and he worked at he's like, yeah, I worked at a grocery store, and they would always walk in, and they'd be like, well, where's your car at? And they'd be like, and they'd point with their lips, and he was like, and I guess like it would anger him, so he would just not answer.
No, it's a very common thing because it's. I mean, for one thing, it's
Yeah.
impolite to point with your fingers.
Is that right?
Well, you didn't learn that in etiquette
Yeah,
school.
like you can't.
No.
You can't point. That's like rude.
That's incredibly rude.
But if you're
that's
pointing at
the
a
same
car
thing-
or something like that, or
That's the
anything,
same thing
That's
with deaf people
really
too.
rude.
Yeah.
It's like you have to be careful how you gesture with your hands. So this makes more sense to deaf people than like you know.
this.
That's fair.
Just
Fair enough.
I was told not to point as a child as well. Yeah.
yeah.
All I want to know is,
Do you point like this still?
So do you
I
do you know
don't-
sign language?
I do know sign language.
How do you say dick in sign language?
Oh, I don't know that one actually. My
She
grandma
takes her
neglected-
hands like this
I'm
and
just
just
like-
gnaws it.
See,
A lot of teeth involved.
Yeah. Unfortunately, my grandma neglected to teach me how to sign dick.
because I created the international sign for wiener touching
And that's
Wiener touching.
for my friend Alex.
and
Oh.
what Holly's saying is fair because I don't know any Navajo bad words.
Oh wow.
See? I know plenty of bad words in sign language. My grandpa
Yeah.
taught them to me in church one
I'm sure.
time. But
Zero.
dick. Oh, that's actually poop.
I know. So that's like the sign language I know. So my friend Alex, she'll be like, so I met this new guy, and I'll be all, hold on, whoop 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 whoop
Oh, I love it.
whoop whoop whoop. Whoop.
So you're running. So you obviously behind the person. So you squeeze.
No,
and then
you're in
pull-
front.
You're
You're
in
touching.
front.
You're touching the
You're
balls.
Oh,
touching
and then the
balls.
You're touching the
shaft.
balls, then you go woo. That's wiener touching.
The shaft.
That's how you
That's all.
touch a dick.
But you got to do this. Whoop 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 woo.
I love it. I'm gonna try that.
I'm gonna
new
watch this. I want to
technique.
watch myself back on the. There it is. I'm watching myself back on the playback to make sure it looks like I want it to look. That's fantastic. So yeah, I want to thank everybody for listening. That's we've done enough damage for today. All I know is I laughed. Like I had a good time and I laughed and I fell over earlier because I was like, that was too funny.
I made you laugh so hard you fell over.
January 11th, we will be at the Tricklock Theater and we will be interviewing John. I have to. Fugels.
No.
I have to look it up every time because I don't want to miss. John Fugelsang.
John Fugelsang.
He's from VH1 and he is from
Coyote Ugly. That's my
18
favorite.
Wheels of Justice.
He's super funny. He's a comedian and a writer and all the things.
Yeah, political pundit or political. What do you call it? Analyst? I don't know.
Commentator.
Commentator, talking head. So we'll be talking to him Friday, January 11th at Tricklock Theater.
Yo.
If you want to get on if you like really want to be there live, let us know. We could probably sneak you in
We'll
a
probably
suitcase.
stick you in.
Let me know. Just let me see
In
that
a
dick.
suitcase. I know some people. Then he'll be doing a show at the Chemo Theater January 12th. So that's to raise money for Revolutions.
Revolutions is actually a fucking big deal. Like
I think we should go this year.
Huge
And
deal.
it's like in Albuquerque, and then
We should go.
Then you have like fucking Moscow, and then
We should really go this year.
You know, whatever, Taipei or some shit.
Yeah.
And then we have Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Right? They actually it's been doing it for like years.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally.
It's huge.
Touring acts, Albuquerque
All over,
gets to just go and do their thing.
I know this last
Abroad?
year. I know last year they had a really rough time because of our new administration.
Yes.
Was trying to keep people out, so they had a rough time getting people in this last
It's
year.
rough go. I think it'll be better.
Then Holly, you've got a show
January 19th at 19th hole in Alamogordo, New Mexico.
Which is the last day, Belmas. You'll miss it, but we'll miss you.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it should be a good show. There's some national headliners. It'll be super awesome. You know?
Then February 9th, there's going to be a 10-drink collective show.
10-drink collective.
Tractor Brewing, and 10-drink collective is we all do our different talents. So James and I, we all do the podcast, and then Holly does her comedy, and Billy is going to play his music. And Tractor Brewing is going to release a beer. We don't know what kind of beer yet.
But not an IPA, hopefully.
I actually told them not. I told them I don't want an IPA. So we'll see.
We'll
and they're
see.
Gonna
We'll see
sell
what
this. So
happens.
come out. Billy's gonna vape pretty quickly. James, you got anything coming up?
Not that I know of.
Just watch reruns of Midnight Texas.
Oh yes.
Jesus, Billy just vaped.
That was like a lot.
Jesus.
That was
my
a big
God,
hit.
What the hell?
He took a hit.
He took
Looks
a
like a
hit.
dragon.
He
Wow.
took a hit.
Yeah, he did look like a dragon, right?
And now he's
So-
dying.
I want to thank all you guys for listening.
Is that pecan?
Yeah.
I don't know. It probably, maybe there's a little bit of pecan. There's a lot of duck.
Is it pecan?
Pecan?
I love you, Holly.
It's pecans
and
and
I love
duck.
the new year. 2019 is going to be the shit.
It's gonna be the shit.
Gonna be the
We're gonna.
shit. I love
It's
you
gonna be
too,
the year of
Billy.
10 drink minimum. We're gonna shred it. We're
Shred
gonna
it.
tear it up.
We're
We
gonna
do better
tear it up.
every year.
Yeah, we have actually. Every year's been better than the last, which is great. So let's just keep it rolling. Check out our website, 10drinkminimum.com, and like us on Facebook, facebook.com/10drink. Other than that, we all love you. Love us.
Happy 2019.
We are
10
drink
drink
minimum.
minimum.
Hold.